Good evening and welcome to the Regional Radio Sports Network. We're broadcasting live this evening from the Y Camp Athletic Center. Inside the Gates Gymnasium, this is Bethel College men's basketball. My name is Paul Condry, along with the coach, Mark Gardner. Also, Matt Copsey joining us here on the broadcast. We're glad that you can join us here today as the Bethel College Pilots conclude the first time around in the Crossroads League, as they'll take on the Taylor University Trojans. Trojans come in at 9 wins and 10 losses on the season, coach. 3-5 in the Crossroads League. And, of course, the Pilots certainly very, very happy after a very important road win against Mount Vernon of Nazarene. They are 15-5 and 4-4 in league play. Let's just start right from the get-go. Mike Lightfoot with the opportunity tonight to achieve the 700 victory plateau, a very, very special dynamic in all of NAIA sports. Could be, at this point in time, one of the greatest accomplishments a coach can ever be. Special time.
Absolutely. And as Matt pointed out just a few minutes ago, ironically, Taylor coach Paul Patterson got his 700th win against the Bethel Pilots, so that would be a nice way for Coach to repay Coach Patterson. What can you say about his career? And I know Coach will deny it and say I'm not worried about personal accomplishments and all that other stuff, but how can you not sit back and say, wow, what impressive.
There's no question. You look at Danny Miles, who's at Oregon Tech. He's very soon is going to be reaching that 1,000 victory plateau. That in itself, to be around the game for nearly 50 years, speaks volume. It's what these guys do, and I think it's pretty special. But let's bring it back. Pilots coming off a very important win on the road at Mount Vernon at the Ariel Arena. I thought Pat Edding played his best game as a collegiate athlete. Played great on the defensive end of the floor, great on the offensive end of the floor, and just really, we haven't had a lot of guys in recent memory in the post dominate a ball game like Pat Edding did on Saturday.
Yeah, and that was a big question mark for the Pilots coming into the season, was the post play, and so Pat's provided that. We saw that the second half of the Huntington game. When Pat stays out of foul trouble, he can do great things. His biggest problem this year has been himself, and so if he can stay out of foul trouble, make good choices, I think we'll continue to see Pat playing with this passion that he's brought the last few games.
We're talking about a Taylor University team that's missing two key components from last year's 21 and 12 team, including Casey Coons. He's still here, but he's an assistant coach now, but they're also missing, I think, really the heart and soul of their basketball game, former Chesterton standout Tommy Peller.
Yeah, it was one of those things that Bethel beat them in the conference championship last year in the tournament to go to Branson, and rarely do I feel this way about opponents in our conference, but I really felt bad for those two young men because of their careers, and I really thought they should have ended their careers in Branson. Just two real key components to stabilizing this team, being good leaders on the floor, hitting the big shot when they needed it, and so pressure's on the other guys to step up, and it's good for the Pilots to have a struggling Taylor team coming in. The Pilots need a win. You got to take care of this one tonight.
It's a Taylor team that has really struggled on the road. They've lost a wide variety of games in the double-digit margin. In some cases, they've been blown off the floor. So it's going to be interesting to see how Josh Andrews does in his first season as the coach at Taylor University. That you can really find out a lot about your team as how you play away from the friendly confines, in this case, the Oval Gymnasium.
Absolutely, and I think 8 straight road losses for this team. And so, if you're going to be competitive in this conference, you've got to get road wins. You have to take care of business at home. Then you've got to get at least half your wins on the road as well. And so, tough task ahead for Josh Andrews, but at the same time, we've seen an up-and-down Pilots team this year, so we need them to come out and get this one.
Final breakdown. Let's talk about keys to the ball game. Certainly the Pilots, we know what they've got to do to be successful. They need to hit the offensive glass. They need to hit the defensive glass. That's some of their keys. They've got to be able to shoot the basketball well. They've got to work hard off the basketball. But let's talk about dealing with that Taylor University triangle offense and some of the things and the dynamics that's going to create.
Yeah, a little bit different Taylor team that we're used to seeing. And, we've talked about that before, how all of these coaches know what to expect from the other coach because they spent so much time in the league together. And so this is going to be a little bit different look from Taylor, but the same scouting report as usual. Get a hand up on shooters, find shooters, box out, limit them to one shot, force their bigs off the block out of their comfort zone, and then run the floor. Use your depth.
The 53rd meeting between the Bethel College Pilots and the Taylor University Trojans. The Pilots, of course, trail 25-27 in the big picture of things. We'll be back with more of our continuing coverage of Bethel College men's basketball right after this brief timeout on Regional Radio Sports.
The men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we'll always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. I'm Paul Condry along with Matt Copsey and the coach, Mark Gardner. Glad that you can join us here today. Bethel College men's basketball today being presented in part by our friends at the Gates Automotive Group. Serving Michiana for over 80 years, Gates' promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen each day at the Gates downtown, Gates Chevy World in Mishawaka, over at the Gates Toyota and Scion in South Bend, Gates Ireland Road location, and of course the new Gates of Granger. We also would like to acknowledge the support of our friends at Teachers Credit Union, a proud corporate partner of Regional Radio Sports. TCU has the tools to prepare you for financial success. TCU, prepare for the future by visiting them online at www.tcunet.com. We also would like to thank our friends at Beef O'Brady's. Good food, good sport. Beef's is home of the Coach's Box on WGCS 91.1 FM, The Globe, each Thursday night at 6 to 7 Eastern Time. And I might add, on this One Bethel connection, join us as Tony Natale and Mike Lightfoot will also be with us at 6 o'clock on Thursday. In addition to that, we'll have Milt Cooper, the head basketball coach of the John Adams Eagles here in South Bend area, will be on the program. You can join us from 6 to 7 Eastern Time, and you can also check that out online on thegloberadio.org. We also would like to thank our friends at Cardinal Bus, the official travel partner of Bethel College Athletics, for all your travel needs. 800-348-7487. In addition to that, we want to thank Hacienda Mexican Restaurants. Come fiesta with the besta. Chips, salsa, chips, which came first to your table tonight. There's always something special going on at Hacienda Mexican Restaurants. And anchoring our coverage all season long, every moment of every game, presented by our friends at the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. If you think you have what it takes, call 1-800-MARINES or log on to marines.com. We'll be right back with more tonight's coverage between the Taylor University Trojans and the Bethel College Pilots. We'll be back after this on Regional Radio Sports.
College softball players Mallory Holtzman and Liz Wallace know winning isn't everything.
It's how you hold your head at the end of the game and how you walk off the field.
These two athletes carried their opponent around the bases after she injured herself hitting the winning home run.
Whether you win or lose on the field, if you did the right thing, then you did win.
And they showed us the right thing is sportsmanship. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
There's always a moment of truth where it's either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continued to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
UFC Daryl Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Did you know that the Gates Automotive Group is the #1 seller of pre-owned vehicles in Michiana? Gates sells more, which means Gates can give you more for your trade-in. Stop by any of our locations at Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy World Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion South Bend, Gates Island Road, and Gates of Granger. The Gates Automotive Group has been serving Michiana for over 85 years.
College basketball here today on Regional Radio Sports. The Bethel College Pilots taking on Taylor University. We've made it all the way through the first round of the Crossroads League after tonight. Bethel College Pilots even on the card at 4-4, hoping for a win here today to put them at 5-4. And Mike, and this is a grind. I know you always talk about the process of what it's like to be involved in this long and grueling season. And obviously the Crossroads League, the best conference in the country. You guys don't have to apologize for anybody about that, but can you put it into words what it's like to go through this the first time and some of the lessons that you learn by playing teams for the first time and hoping the second time around when you get into that second part of it that you can adjust and learn from?
You know, that's a great question, but I think you can't look beyond the end of your nose in our league, meaning you have to be involved in the task at hand. And I think when we get to the next series of games, then we'll start thinking that process. But you got to be, that's the thing. In this league, you can't look ahead. You can't look ahead at all. And, you've seen examples with us and seen examples with teams both winning or losing if you even take a glance ahead. And so the most important thing is just focusing in on what's happening now, and then the grind is getting through that. We don't have the luxury of other conferences where you have a bye in there, or you have a game that you just show up and you're going to win. That's not going to happen. So you can't do that. You just have to look forward to trying to get better every day, and then from there you've got to shut the book on that one, turn the page, and get ready for the next battle.
Well, I'm going to ask you to turn the page back to last Saturday. I thought we saw Patrick Edding play his best game as a collegiate, and a big win for this group, not only stopping the losing streak, but I think the way they responded in like fashion with some intensity from Pat, and I thought Pat led the whole thing. So just talk about last game against Mount Vernon.
Yeah, Pat really did a great job. I think he established himself in so many areas, The thing that we don't ask him to do a lot that he did a great job was be able to put the ball in the basket. He attacked the rim with strength and finished well. I also thought he ran the floor well, but then, the other two things he did, he defended and blocked shots and stayed out of foul trouble. So that's been, one of the things that we've always struggled, keeping Pat on the floor, and we just got to find ways to get him out there and keep him out there, because if he can do that, he gives us another dimension that we really need down low.
All right, let's turn our attention to Taylor University. And it's not the Taylor University team or program that the only one I've ever known and the only one you've ever known, and that's been Paul Patterson. So they've got a new guy at the top in Josh Andrews. So anytime there's a change, there's always a feeling out opportunity for coaches to get an idea on how the guy's going to manage the game, how he's going to recruit and all that kind of stuff. Have you got an idea on what Josh Andrews is all about yet?
Yeah, I think so. I think that when I watch his team play and I watch the players, they play less freshmen than we do. They play more of guys that have played in the program and understand the program than we do. If you look at experience at college time, they have a lot of guys that have been around for a while or have been in the program for a long time. They're running the same offense that they've run in the past, not as much last year, but 2 years ago. They're very, very proficient in their offensive scheme. They're running triangle and doing a great job out of it. I think that one thing that I've seen that Josh has been able to do is he's put his own identity on the triangle offense and been able to get certain people in certain places and interchange those, where maybe with Paul that wasn't quite the same. They played the same spots and stayed in those same spots. So the way I look at it, it's very, very similar, and a lot of the same guys. They've added a great transfer in, and then Jesse Coffey has waited his turn. He's been sitting on that bench waiting for the opportunity to play. We knew he was a good player. We recruited him. So, a combination of Sitson and Coffey with Raquel, who just has killed us, and Ducher and Rakonen, a lot of key people that we've seen before.
All right, let's talk about tempo. I know in the past, the Taylor games were going to be possessions that were such a premium, and turnovers. I mean, you couldn't turn the ball over with this team. Is this the same type of Taylor team that's going to want to slow it down? Is it going to be the same, or are you going to want to try to push this up? And is this a Bethel type of game where you can get out and let the horses run?
Well, yeah, it's easier said than done, but I think that their same mindset, I do think they push the ball up the floor a little bit more, and Stidden is by far one that really wants to attack the rim a little bit more than they've done in the past, but they're still blessed with great shooters. They're still blessed with solid, really, really solid defense. So, there isn't a lot of changes that have happened in the year since Paul's left.
Okay, and we'll turn attention finally here to tonight. If you're able to secure a win here tonight against Taylor, not only do you improve to 5-4 and 16-5 overall, but it would be career win potentially. It will be career win number 700. So that means you've been around a long time. You and I both been around a long time. So they start to give us these awards, all these things, and you got all these pats on the backs and lovely emails. But realistically, you've made a big impact here, not only in the college, but in the lives of men and women and people who you've come in contact with. So despite the fact that this plateau is here, as I look back on my time with you, I see someone who's not about wins, but more about making an eternal impact on the kids he comes in contact with. That's my opinion.
Well, thank you, and I hope that that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I have to ask myself that question every day. I think we do. All humans need to ask, why am I doing what I'm doing, and kind of get a compass and make sure it's focused the right direction. And that's the thing that we're trying to do here. And I look at this game as a must game for our guys to stay in the hunt in our league. That's the here and now. I really focus in on here, as I tell players all the time. You don't want to be looking in the rearview mirror in your life. You want to be looking forward, and I think that's what we're called to put a firm focus in the front and focus in on Christ and go forward. And I think that's what we're really trying to do here as a program, and hopefully I'm doing that in my life, and hopefully our players, both in the now and in the past, continue to try to follow that lead of looking forward, not looking back. So, right now we've got to take care of a great challenge ahead of us in Taylor University, and then from there we got to move on. But the most important thing is making sure our guys are doing it the right way.
Final question: as you look back on the first win, and now where you're at right now, did you even remotely think that you'd be doing this long?
No. And being around this game, you just got to trust God to give you direction every day. I remember our first two games, we lost them both over in Mount Vernon Nazarene in a tournament, and I got back to campus, and John Parent, the South Bend Tribune writer, said, "You know what, I just want you to know that you're the first coach in the college history at Bethel College to lose its first two games." And I said, wow, that's a really good start. That's a really good start. Maybe it won't be lasting too much longer, but looking back, I've been blessed with so many great moments and so many great players and coaches that have been around the program, and a great family. So, I have a lot to be thankful for, and I shouldn't be thankful for that just once in a while. I need to be thankful for that every day.
Mike Lightfoot going for number 700 here tonight against Taylor University. We'll be back with more of Bethel College men's basketball right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
The Gates Automotive Group has been serving Michiana for over 85 years. The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen each day at Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy Road, Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion, South Bend, Gates Ireland Road, and Gates of Granger. For 85 years, Gates dealerships have been providing great growth opportunities for all of its employees. If you're interested in becoming one of our team members, stop by our family-owned and operated business. For more information on Gates Automotive Group, check out the website at www.gatesautomotive.com.
Talk about the transition of getting ready to with the program and everything after all the years.
You know what? It's been a good transition. There's some changes that have taken place, but it's got a great foundation, obviously, and got a solid group of guys. So we're getting close to playing the type of basketball we think we need to play to be competitive night in, night out. But it's a terrific league, and tonight will be no different. We got a great challenge.
You look at this Bethel club, and everybody talks about Zach Miller, but it's not a one-man show.
No, not at all. Especially those three guards are so tough. I call him Benner a guard because he can play from anywhere on the floor, but the ability to shoot it in transition and play in the half court, and maybe the interior and perimeter combination makes them so dangerous. So we've got our hands full.
What do you need to do to slow them down offensively?
We got to take great shots offensively and take care of the ball. That's going to help us, and then from there build a wall in transition and make them have to execute in the half court. That gives us the best chance to be successful tonight.
Who have been some of the guys that have stepped up for you?
Yeah, Kyle Stidham's been our leading scorer all year, but he's a playmaker. We need him to produce tonight and make plays. But a couple guys on the interior really help us as of late. Darrell Jordan scored it at a high clip of efficiency, and Ian Dutcher, our big man, 6'9", has done some nice things. So we need those guys to be efficient tonight, clean the glass for us.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thanks, appreciate it.
And a great job by Matt Copsey catching up with the coach of the Taylor University Trojans, Josh Andrews. Coach Gardner, just to be honest with you, and of course I always am, he looks like he's about 25.
Yeah, when he came walking over to the table, Casey, he walked past Casey Coons, and my first thought was, did that guy play with Casey? I don't recognize that guy. And he introduced himself as head coach Josh Andrews.
Well, I'll tell you what an outstanding career he has had as a basketball coach. He's only the 12th coach in the history of the program, but make no mistake about it, where he was at Middleton High School in Middleton, Ohio, they went 32-17 under Andrews, winning back-to-back conference titles to win a 7-year drought for the program that boasts the most state championships in the history of Ohio high school basketball. Along with a pair of conference crowns, he also led Middleton to sectional and district championships and was touted as the Greater Miami Conference Coach of the Year in 12 and 13 respectively. Prior to taking the reins at Middleton, he compiled an 80 and 18 record during the 4 seasons as a head coach at Princeton High and led the Vikings to the 2009 Ohio State Finals, first appearance since 1971. So they lost in the title game, but here's a guy who's had a lot of success at the high school level. And Coach, anytime you talk about coaches making transitions, and we hear this all the time about the NCAA Division I level, whether it be football or basketball, or even making it to the NFL. I hear guys, I heard it talking today on our affiliated station, 95.7 The Fan. Guys talking about, this guy, he's only had this experience, he's never been a head coach here, this, that, and the other. So what's your take on that? I know that you've been around the game a long time, but can guys make that transition from point A to point B relatively smooth? What do you think?
Absolutely. It just depends on whether you're a people person. The game doesn't change. I run the same plays with the Bethel Junior Varsity that I ran with my 5th and 6th grade team 20 years ago. We change some things, we adapt some things, but my former players will come watch and they'll be like, Coach, you still run Valpo? You still run push down? Yeah, it works at this level. The biggest change is you got to be a people person, because now you go from a high school situation where you're giving your players to a situation where you have to go out recruit your opponents. The other schools in the conference. The season's longer, you've got more travel, so that's where you become a people person. You surround yourself with great assistant coaches, and that's true at any level, but more true at the college level, I think. So as you move up in the pros, same thing. You go from a college coach to an NFL coach, you've got to be able to handle the personalities and surround yourself with great people.
Matt Copsey, one thing that jumps off the page to me right from the get-go, this is the first time I've ever done a Taylor University basketball game, and Paul Patterson is not here. The guy was a legend, a graduate of Hammond Morton High School, and anytime you make the transition, in regards to offense, defensive principles and whatnot, but one thing that Paul Patterson was Mr. Intensity when he was on the floor. I always felt that he got the maximum effort with a lot less talent than some of the other guys in the league. What's your take?
Well, Paul Patterson, that's right on target, Paul, about Paul Patterson is that he took what he had and made it into successful teams, and that's what you have to do at this level. It depends, because of maybe academic reasons and other certain factors involved. You have to deal with what kids you bring in, and you have to bring in high-quality kids, and I know that's what he has done, what he did over the years is that he brought in high-quality kids that were not only successful on the basketball court, but when they left the college, they were successful as well, and I know that's one thing that Mike Lightfoot has done here at Bethel as well, and I know that's one thing that Josh Andrews is going to try to implement into the program here. He wants to try to do the same thing. They've had their ups and downs this year, but just talking to Coach Andrews in the first couple minutes, for that few minutes, he seems to have a good head on his shoulder and knows what he wants to do for this program.
Career milestone victories for head coach Mike Lightfoot. Got his 100th career win in 138 games back on January 26, 1991. Win number 200 came against IU South Bend as the Pilots crushed the Titans 105-60. He did that in 263 games. He won his 300th career game in 372 games, and that game was against Green Mountain, 123-73 back on March 12th of 1997. And of course the 400th win, I remember this one distinctly. The Pilots really just put a beat down on Indiana Wesleyan, 84-69. Eric Brand had 32 points and 14 rebounds. David Hatterstick was awesome in that game, and that 400th victory came in 488 games. The 500th game, you heard that one right here on Regional Radio Sports on December 18th, 2014. The Pilots, clad in their throwback gold uniforms for the first time since the 80s, rolled to a 26-point victory led by Adam Schopper's 21 points, and then they The 600th game was a game against Indiana University Southeast on March 13, 2009, as the Pilots shot a scorching 64% from the field, as NAIA Player of the Year Superman, a.k.a. Will Walker, went ballistic with 30 points and 13 boards for
Branson.
Yes, and what an impressive game that was. All right, we're going to come back after the timeout. It's time to play college basketball. The Taylor University Trojans taking on the Bethel College Pilots. We'll break down what's happening in the Crossroads League after the timeout. You are listening to Bethel College Men's Basketball on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and leaves a change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
They were outnumbered, out-equipped. They had no chance of winning, but they had one huge advantage: General George Washington.
The fate of unborn millions will now depend, under God, on the courage and conduct of this army. We have to resolve to conquer or die.
Just as the leadership of one man helped form a nation, today leadership can transform the world. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
After this ball game today, we will have reached the midway point in the 2013-2014 Crossroads League schedule. Let's take a look at where we're at right now. St. Francis right now sitting at 7-1. Huntington and Indiana Wesleyan at 6-2 respectively. Marion in the 4th spot at 4-3. Then we have a pair of basketball teams sitting at 4-4 in Bethel and Spring Arbor. Grace is scorching red hot right now with 3 consecutive wins after stumbling out of the gate 0-5. They're 3-5 along with this Taylor team. And then Goshen is at 1-6, and Mount Vernon of Nazarene is at 1-7. Some key games tonight in the Crossroads League. 13th ranked Indiana Wesleyan is over at the Roman Gingrich Athletic Center at Goshen College. The Grace Lancers are taking on Mount Vernon and Nazarene down at the Ariel Arena. And a really important ball game here is number 11 St. Francis is on the road at Platt Arena, taking on the 24th ranked Huntington Foresters, and finally Spring Arbor makes the drive down from the Wolverine State to take on Marion.
And Paul, I just got a text message. The national rankings just came out. St. Francis is now ranked 8th in the country, moving up from number 11. IRU is number 11, moving up from 13. Huntington goes from 24th up to the 20th spot. The Bethel Pilots drop from 15 down to 22. And Marion goes from ranked 20th to receiving votes.
Really not a surprise, and we're going to see that fluctuate as the season goes along. Make no mistake about it. Take a look at the game by the numbers. Taylor University comes in by the slimmest of margins. We had to go to the extra decimal point to check this out. Taylor averages 71.1 points a game. They're giving up 71.8. They're out-rebounding their opponents 34.8 to 34.3. They're shooting 24% from the field, 72% from the charity stripe, 36% from beyond the arc. Right around 11 assists per ball game, 5 steals, and 13.5 turnovers per contest. And in addition to that, they'll throw in 3.7 block shots per ball game. Now for Bethel College, the Pilots come in averaging 89 points per ball game. On the defensive side, they're giving up 73. They're out-rebounding their opponents 38 to 33. 72% at the charity stripes are where the Pilots are at. They're shooting 51% from the field. The Pilots have made 164 three-point baskets on the season, and they're shooting 44% from the three-point range. 17 assists per contest, 8 steals, 13 turnovers, and 2.5 block shots per contest. The Pilots, as Coach Gardner just alluded to, currently ranked number 22 in the NAIA poll, and we're glad that you could join us here today for our broadcast on Regional Radio Sports. Matt Copsey along with Mark Gardner, I'm Paul Condry. We're going to turn it over here to Brian Miller here momentarily for our opening and announcements. Once again, thanks for joining us here on Regional Radio Sports for tonight's matchup. The first go-around in the Crossroads League is the Trojans at 9 and 10 take on the 15 and 5 Bethel College Pilots.
Your attention, please. Bethel College welcomes all players, officials, and spectators to tonight's contest. As a member of the NAI in the Crossroads League, we're committed to the true spirit of competition as champions of character, embracing 5 core values, which are respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. We ask each of you as a participant, an official, or as a spectator to abide by these values by creating a positive environment in which your athletes may participate, our officials may work, and you, the spectator, may enjoy. Fans, please enjoy tonight's contest. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please rise and kindly remove your caps as Bethel College Junior Christina Welsh will lead us in tonight's opening prayer.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you for these two teams, and please just bless them and help them to play to the best of their abilities. Please keep this game injury-free and help them to glorify you in all they do. Amen.
Thank you. Fans, please remain standing as we honor America and those who serve and protect our great country with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by Bethel College Music Ministry Team, Anchored.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets and the guns bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Stellar rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Bethel College's Music Ministry Team, Anchored. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Gates Gymnasium here on the campus of Bethel College. This is the Y-Camp Center. Thank you for attending tonight's men's basketball Crossroads League matchup between the Trojans of Taylor University and your Bethel College Pilots. Fans, tonight's official game sponsor is Lake City Bank. Let's meet the starting lineups, brought to you by Martin's Supermarkets. Count on Martin's for service and savings. First for the visitors from Taylor University. At one guard, a 6-foot senior from Austin, Indiana, number 11, Ben Rachel. At another guard, a 6'3 junior from Batavia, Illinois, number 25, Jesse Coffey. At a forward, 6'5 junior from Indianapolis, Indiana, wearing number 31, Darrell Jordan. At another guard, a 6'3 sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana, wearing number 33, Kyle Stidham. And at center for the Trojans, a 6'9 junior from Elgin, Illinois, number 54, Ian Dutcher. Head coach from Taylor, Josh Andrews.
An awfully quiet start here, Coach. It's almost too quiet.
Yeah, well, all 14 students are just watching the video. So students have lost interest, and the fans are just kind of hanging out. And I don't know, that's what happens when you lose a few games. And so hopefully the Pilots can come out and get out to a big start and get the crowd behind them. But yeah, it's really just kind of blah around here right now. Not the atmosphere we want to see.
The Y Camp Wackos, where are they gone? The days of Jeff Kokenauer and the guys over there getting everybody fired up, they come and gone.
It's today's society. We gave away free T-shirts early in the year.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, BC fans of all ages, Y Camp Wackos, let me hear you. Now's the time to make some noise. Here now is your starting lineup for your Bethel College Pilots. At one guard, a 5'10" sophomore from Peru, Indiana, number 5, Travis Smith. At another guard right here, Pilots a 6'4" junior from Greensburg, Indiana, number 20, Matt Schultz. He's a guard. He's 6'1" and a junior from Connersville, Indiana, number 22, Zach Miller. And another guard for here, Pilots a 6'4" senior from Milwaukee, Indiana, number 34, Ryan Benner. And the man in the middle for BC, 6'6" senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 41, Patrick Edding. Double coaches are Tony Natale, Ryan Lightfoot, and head coach of the Pilots in his 27th season. A 1970 Bethel graduate is Mike Lightfoot.
There you have it. Once again, thanks to Brian Miller. Our officials in today's ballgame, the incomparable Matt Copsey.
Bill Forehand, Christopher Dante Fuller, and Dan Beauchamp.
The Taylor Trojans decked out in the purple shorts with the gold trim with the Trojan emblem on the side of the shorts. The gold numbers trimmed in white are on the purple jerseys. Bethel College decked out, ironically, in the gray shorts and gray jerseys with the white numbers and Pilots written in white with a dash of old blue, if you will, I believe around that. The Pilots will be moving from left to right on your screen, and the Trojans from right to left. And it will be tipped off of the Pilots, I believe, and it'll be Taylor University basketball, as I believe Pat Edding got a hand on that tip.
I'm not sure if Travis Smith didn't think Pat got it, just couldn't catch up to it because of our angle, but kind of let that one go.
Darrell Jordan coming into the near side, now to Rachel, and a foul away from the basket. Whistle.
Benner holding on
11 seconds into the game. I guess he's trying to make a name for himself immediately.
That's Bill with a quick whistle there.
With the basketball here at the top, Rachel goes into the right wing, now to Coffee inside of the low post, and a traveling call on the Trojans. Trojans average right around 13.5 miscues per ball game. Bethel to move from left to right, Coach.
Yeah, and I'm tough on the officials, and I didn't see Ian travel on that one. I thought he's made a good move to the bucket. So
Zach Miller wearing a head brace. Here's Ryan Benner, a wide open three on the near wing. Didn't even touch the net. 3-0 Pilots as Benner knocks down his 38th three of the season.
Full court trap here by the Pilots. Really wanting to force the tempo tonight. It's good to see Benner come out and hit that first shot. Double team on Miller, and you find Benner wide open.
And Zach Miller with the assist as well. Miller averaging 1.5 assists per ball game to go with the rest of that sparkling resume. Ball in the near wing. Darrell Jordan goes inside to the low post to Dutcher. Dutcher comes back out to the free throw line now to Kyle Stidham. Back right here on the near wing. Jump shot on the way, no good by Coffey, but the rebound tracked down here by the big man, Ian Dutcher.
Offensive rebounds have hurt the Pilots last few games.
Here's Darrell Jordan on the near wing. Goes inside to the high post now. Back to Rachel. He'll load up the triple and knock it down. We're tied 3-3. As Ben Rachel is able to get on track. That's his 41st tray of the season. 3-3 ball game.
Second chance points.
Schaus here at the top of the circle. Inside of the low post now to Pat. Pat spins to the goal and finishes with the left hand. Pat picking up where he left off. Pilots lead it 5-3.
Pat's really becoming an inside force these days, and good to see him with the good footwork there and go with a little left-hand finish.
Coach, the key thing, in my opinion, is he has this newfound confidence that he can play with anybody.
I agree, but he's also staying out of foul trouble, which gives you that confidence to show that you can play with anybody.
Jordan goes down here to the right side, now to Stidham. Back out here, three-point shot on the way, time by Coffey, no good. Here come the Bethel Pilots from left to right on your screen. Schaus going into the corner to Benner. Benner loads up the triple. Karam's out here to the free throw line, where it's tracked down by Ben Rachel of Taylor.
And you could hear Coach Andrews, as soon as the rebound came, yelling where Zach Miller was to his team. He's right here, he's right here, he's right here.
Here's Coffey coming here to the near side now to Kyle Stidham. Back here to the top now to Coffey. Ball stolen by Matt Schaus. Matt on the drive with the easy left-handed layup. Solid fundamental play by the former Centerville quarterback.
And the Pilots, again, have seen this triangle offense enough to try and jump those passing lanes.
Rachel with the ball here, goes on the far wing now to Darrell Jordan. Jordan looking, comes back out to the top now to Rachel. Now back here to the point, now here's Stidham. As the Pilots digging in on that man-to-man defense. Back here to the top now. Kyle Stidham, a 6'3 sophomore from Greenwood Christian Academy. Hands it off to Rachel. Inside ball deflected and stolen by Bethel. Here's Benner, right side pass to Miller. Zach loads up the triple, rattles in and out, tipped up and in by Pat Edding. 9-3, Pat Edding continues. Just get out the Windex, the Brawny, and he'll clean the glass.
Yeah, it's not that often Zach Miller misses a three-pointer, but Pat was right there to tip it in quick. 30-second timeout by Coach Andrews to try and settle his team down. Going to take a moment here to say to thank our friends at Gates. Check out the new Gates of Granger on State Road 23 in Granger. Gates of Granger is a full-service shop for all brands and models. With their state-of-the-art base paint and body shop, you can't go wrong when it's time for all of your detailing work. At the Gates of Granger, you can also see and buy the top 10 models of pre-owned cars, pickups, SUVs, and vans. The Gates Automotive Group celebrating 85 years of integrity.
Impressions early for you, Matt Copsey.
Pilots come out shooting the ball real well, 4 out of 6, doing a good job on the defensive end, forced 3 turnovers.
Yeah, I had a talk with Travis Smith before the game, and I told him I didn't like a week ago Tuesday that I had to tell all of our listeners that Derek Heine was having his way with Travis, and so he really focused coming out and trying to put a hurt here on Kyle Stidham to start the game.
With the basketball checking into the contest now for Taylor is Tyler Waite, a 6'7", 185-pound junior who did his prep work over at Tri-West High School, home of the legendary Jeff Gordon. You have NASCAR fame. Here's Waite with the basketball on the far wing now. Goes down to the free throw line to Jordan. Back into the corner, jump shot on the way. Good from 3 from Jesse Coffey. Huge three-point shot by the Trojans right there.
Pilots got to find shooters. They know that Coffey's one of those shooters. Coach Lightfoot said they recruited him, so they're well aware of his talents.
Schaus hands it over here to Travis Smith. Back out to the top now to Benner. And a foul called on the perimeter on the Taylor Trojans. Whistle that one on Darrell Jordan, the 6'5", 195-pound junior from Brownsburg.
Jordan's first, team's first.
Schaus inbounds the basketball back to Pat Edding. Wrap around to the low post now to Benner. Benner, fadeaway shot from 12 in the lane, good. 11-6, in favor of the Pilots. 16:07 to go first half.
Coach Andrews addressed Benner just being such a tough matchup defensively, and there's good use of his body creating space and going over Jordan.
Rachel goes on the right wing now to Jesse Coffey. Coffey back out to the top now to Waite. Back here on the near wing now to Darrell Jordan. Foul line extended left now to Josh Raikkonen. Back out to the top, 3-point shot on the way, good. Nicely done by Ben Rachel. And just like that, after 3 consecutive threes, the Trojans are within a pair.
Scouting report on Rachel, he likes to catch and shoot, make him put it on the floor, and Matt did not do that.
Travis Smith on the drive is fouled on the hand check on the far corner. And that should be my timeout. 15:35 to go, first half. Trojans with 3 3-point baskets and close the gap to 11-9 after trailing by 6. We'll be right back after the short timeout on Regional Radio Sports.
Came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few, dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen in action each day by the Gates family with their involvement in the local community. The Gates family has been actively involved with many of our local churches, colleges, and universities. The Gates Automotive Group is family-owned and operated and has been serving Michiana for over 85 years.
Coach, just an early observation. Pilots have yet to substitute here in this ballgame, and that's really kind of an odd situation. Foul trouble, certainly not an issue with anybody, but usually somebody's in the rotation early.
Yeah, Coach has been doing a little bit more of sticking with his guys and shortening the bench a little bit and letting these guys play together.
Travis Smith goes deep right corner now to Matt Schaus. Matt on the dribble, near wing, still on the dribble, waits for a cutter. Looking, goes inside of the low post to Pat Edding. Pat goes to the goal, had a shot blocked away by Raikkonen from the backside. And here comes Kyle Stidham. Stidham with a drive down the lane. He gets past Pat and scores the goal to tie up the ball game at 11-11. Here's Matt Schaus with the drive, and that's got to be an offensive foul on Matt Schaus.
Jordan Richardson stepping in there, taking that one for the team. It'll be one of those two that Schaus didn't see. Zach Miller was wide open in the left wing, but Matt did see that side of the floor.
There's Josh Raikkonen getting the ball here over to the far side now to Jordan Richardson, the former Newcastle standout. Is one-on-one with Miller, goes to the right elbow, a little backdoor play, and an easy backdoor play as Kyle Stidham scores the goal to give Taylor their first lead of the ballgame at 13-11. There's a drive by Schmatt.
I was just saying, Trojans on a 7-0 run right now.
14:50 to go here in this first half of play. Taylor 13, Bethel 11. And Matt Schaus to go to the charity stripe. Matt on the season shooting 78% from the line, averaging 14.5 points, nearly 6 rebounds, and he will be our halftime guest. I had a chance to visit with Matt before the ball game. Pilots will now make their first substitution as Travis Smith comes out and Landy Booker's in the ball game for the first time tonight. 13-12 now as Matt Schaus is able to convert 1 of 2. And here come the Trojans with the basketball. Here's Waite. Out here to the right wing now to Richardson, to the top of the circle now to Stidham. He loads up the three-point shot. No good. Rebound, Pat Edding. Landy Booker pushing the ball up over here to Matt Schaus. Matt on the right wing goes back to Pat at the top. Hands it off to Matt. Matt will load up the triple and knock it down off the assist from Pat Edding. 15-13 Pilots.
Yeah, Paul, I've been on that all year. I think Matt needs to shoot more when he's open, and that's a good shot right there for him.
With the basketball to move from right to left, Jesse Coffey hands it off on the give and go. Beautiful play there as Coffey scores on a beautiful pass to tie up the ballgame at 15-0.
Taylor doing a great job of making basket cuts and finding the teammates playing team basketball.
Booker at the top of the circle now, looking for some help. Waits for a cutter, goes into the low post now to Pat Edding. Pat, one-on-one with Raikkonen, backs in, and he is fouled by Raikkonen. And that will be a common foul as Pat doing great work using the lower half of that body to set up shop in the low post near side wing.
Yeah, Josh was just banging on him there, and Pat just felt that and attacked the basket.
Zach Miller comes out of the ball game now. Pat Edding checks out of the contest now, and Caleb Ochin and Brandon Gerber will check in for the Pilots for the first time, coming at the 13:53 mark. Here's a pass inside Benner with a running one-hander, left it short, and coming out of nowhere, it was Brandon Gerber with a great hustle play. Over here to Benner on the far wing, but the Book at the top. Landon looking for some help. They'll reset the offense here on the near wing. Landon edging off the screen at the top of the ring. Looks over there to Matt Schaus. Matt on the hesitation, still on the dribble, looks, goes now to Benner. Benner will load up the triple off the rim, long. Rebound ripped out of there nicely by Kyle Stidham. Here come the Trojans. Here is Stidham with a drive down the lane, and he just beat everybody down the floor.
Yeah, that's 2 times that the drive has just gone right past Matt Schaus. He's got to get over there and take a charge like they did to him, or make the guy give the ball up. Can't just let him go straight down the floor for an easy layup.
Here's the ball at the top of the ring now. Here's on the far wing now, Landon Booker goes back to the left side to Brandon Gerber. Gerber spins inside the lane and banks it up and in. 17-17 ballgame as Gerbs is in the score sheet for the first time tonight.
Good to see Gerber provide some offense. He's out there for defense and rebounding, so any offense is a bonus coming from Gerber.
Richardson for Taylor over the timeline now. In between the rings. Goes down to the left elbow to Raikkonen. Raikkonen backing in on Gerber. Looking. Comes back out here. The ball's deflected off of Benner. They'll reset the offense on the recovery. Richardson back out here. The 45-foot mark. As Kyle Stidham will engage. Comes around the screen, drives down the lane, and he scores. Once again, Pilots woeful in the half-court defensive set. A 2-point trailer.
Stidham with 8 points. No inside presence for the Pilots.
And there's the ball's deflected off of Tyler Waite.
even Benner put his hands on his head like that was off me, and I think the officials missed one there.
And to the left of the lane as Matt Schaus checks out of the contest now. And Ryan Wasink will check in for the first time tonight for the Bethel Pilots. 12-17. And they changed the call, which is the right call.
Yeah, they got it right. And, credit to Tyler White. He went over and simply asked the official if he could see if somebody else saw something different. The officials got together and made the right call.
As Taylor will move from right to left. Pilots' defense in the half-court set has left a lot to be desired here in the first 8 minutes of the contest.
Got to dig in and stop the drive.
Kyle Stinnen over here to the far side now to Richardson. Richardson into the low post high now to Riccone. Riccone backing in on Gerber. Drives, lost the handle. Good defensive effort that time by Brandon Gerber. He has really stepped up his game in the last half a dozen contests.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a point there where he had found his way into the doghouse, wasn't getting many minutes, and really fought through it. And it's good to see a senior do that, to stick his head down and say, I'm going to persevere, and really giving the Pilots some positive minutes now.
I mean, he's really improved, especially in conference play, averaging 3.5 points a game since he's been in. Here's Ryan Wassing, 12-foot baseline shot to the far side, no good in the rebound. Whistle that one. And Brandon Gerber with the push-off that time. And it will be the third foul on the Pilots, the first on Brandon Gerber.
It's another good call by the officials. I'm saying that way too much tonight. These guys have got
a lot of basketball to play here, trust me.
Makes up for all the times I complain about him.
Richardson, Zach Miller checked in at that last dead ball. Ball on the far wing now. Kyle Stidham goes inside of the low post, stolen away on the redirect. Another turnover. Ochin, right side now to Miller. Miller looks to Gerber on the right wing. He'll back it in. He'll come across the lane. Brandon splits the defense, missed the left-handed layup, and Riccone closes down and grabs that rebound.
And he's got to finish that again. He's in there for defense and rebounding, so if he's going to take those shots, he's got to finish those easy ones.
With the basketball here on the near wing. They'll finally go to the right wing. Here's Richardson. Richardson goes now to the high post to Riccone, waiting for a cutter. Riccone will back in. He'll see the double team, and Miller comes away with a steal. Zach on the far wing will stop, fake, shoot the 18-footer, and knock it down. Zach Miller ties up the ballgame at 19 all. And a timeout, Taylor University. 10:45 to go in this first half. Interesting timeout by young coach Josh Andrews. Coach, your thoughts?
I think he had a couple subs here at the scorer's table. Maybe he thought they were making some back-to-back turnovers, I think, so maybe getting a little mentally tired, which leads to being physically tired. So get those guys out. Did you know that the Gates Automotive Group is the #1 seller of pre-owned vehicles in Michiana? Gates sells more, which means Gates can give you more for your trade-in. Stop by any of our locations at Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy World Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion South Bend, Gates Island Road, and Gates of Granger. Gates Automotive Group has been serving Michiana for 85 years.
We had a chance earlier today to visit with several of the pilots, and obviously Jordan Kuhn was one of them. He refractured a bone in his back. He is going to be basically out for about 10 months. So obviously we will not see him, but he said that if everything goes well, that he should be ready to go by next year. So I guess the Bethel Nation, keep your thoughts and prayers for Jordan as he goes through his rehab. And the Trojans to move from right to left here in a tie ball game coming out of that Taylor timeout. With the ball here is Ben Rachel, and a whistle away from the ball. Calling on Landon Booker as he was holding Kyle Stidham, the 6'3 sophomore. And Stidham to inbound the basketball in front of the Bethel bench. To our left, to the left of the midcourt area. Now to the top now, here's Coffey, goes right side back to Stidham, guarded by Brandon Gerber. Stidham still on the dribble, wrap around to the right corner now to Jordan. He's back here to the point now to Rachel. Quickly here on the near elbow. It's Coffey. Coffey guarded by Ocean, goes into the low post. Now to Ian Dutcher. Dutcher is fouled by Ryan Wassing.
Yeah, he's got to move his feet and have a little space there. Stuck his legs out and tripped him.
That will be the fifth foul on the Pilots, and the first on Ryan Wassing. 10:17 to go. First half, we're tied 19-19. Here on the top now, Ian Dutcher. Goes to the right elbow now to Jordan, inside to the low post, and missing an easy shot inside. That time was Kyle Stidham. Here's Booker back the other way for Bethel. Drives on the right side lane, and the ball is swatted away by Darrell Jordan. Great block that time by Jordan.
Yeah, good hesitation move by Booker. Got Jordan on his heels, but he recovered and blocked that shot from behind.
Here's Jordan with the basketball here on the near wing. Cross court sitting out to Rachel on the far wing, guarded by Booker. Ben Rachel still on the dribble. Stops, pulls up from 19, and he traveled with the basketball.
Goes back to that scouting report. Make him put it on the floor. 7 turnovers now for Taylor.
Travis Smith, Zach Miller, Brandon Gerber, Ryan Wasink, and Caleb Ochin in the lineup for Bethel here at the 9:41 mark. There's the ball at the free throw line. Backdoor, Travis Smith on a beautiful backdoor pass, and he scores. Bethel's in front again, 21-19.
That's a Gator look that they call that. Get that elbow pass and then take advantage of the backdoor look.
Here's Ben Rachel going down to the right side. Foul line extended right. Now back over here on the near side, Jordan. Jordan back to the point. Now they'll re-engage here with Kyle Stidham way out here at the 45-foot mark. 14 on the shot clock, 9:12 on the first half game clock. Stidham drives down the left side, and a foul called on Ryan Wasink again.
It's going to be 2 on Ryan, and again just kind of sticking his body out there, and nice job by Stidham to draw contact.
So that'll be the 6th team foul on the Pilots here at the 9:08 mark, and Stidham will come over here to the bench, and he'll get a pat on the backside from the head coach. Here's a jump shot from 3 in the right corner, good. That time for Jesse Coffey. It's now 22-21 in favor of the Trojans. Here's Zach Miller, off-balance 14-footer, no good rebound. Pat Edding. Pat powers back up to the goal. He got hammered and no call.
That's a tough break for the Pilots. Last defense possession, Caleb Ochin lost Coffey. Cannot do that. They know Coffey's a pure shooter.
With the ball on the right wing, Coffey comes over here to the left wing now to Durrell Jordan. Back to the top now to Coffey. Coffey on the dribble. Pull up 16-footer off the rim. No, and Gerber got beat on a box out. And that will cost him dearly. That'll be a 1 in bonus.
Second chance points. Talked about it all year, pal. These guys, just the little things. Find your man on defense. Get a hand up on shooters. Keep them off the glass. Been a scouting report now for every game.
Ochin and Gerber to the bench. And back onto the floor will be Schaus and Benner. And once again, it's 22-21. As Durrell Jordan, the 6'5 junior, is at the line. He's a 39% free throw. Here's Pat Edding losing control of the tip. And another break for the Trojans.
Yeah, and again, that's in the scouting report that Jordan's a terrible foul shooter. You got to be ready for that rebound.
There's the ball on the far wing now. Coffey back here to the near wing now to Wade. Wade comes back over here to the right side now to Jordan. Durrell Jordan goes to the high post. Dutcher fakes the pass, but hands it off now here to Wade. Wade will load up the triple off the rim. No good. Matt Schaus the rebound. Bethel a 1-point trailer at the 8-minute mark. Matt on the drive. Jump pass out here to Travis Smith. Smith, as Matt was hit hard to the floor. Now he'll engage on the far wing. Looks. Wrap around to the low post now to Benner. Benner waiting for a cutter to go by. Will turn and square. Spins. Fadeaway shot from 12 in the lane. Good. Ryan Benner gives the Pilots the lead back at 23-22. 7:40 to go here in this first half of play.
7 points for Benner. That's a real nice patient move.
Rachel going right wing now to Jesse Coffey. Back out to the top now to Durrell Jordan. Back here on the near wing to Wade. And they'll engage to the right side to Ben Rachel. Rachel fakes the pass. Comes back out to the top now to Wade. Left elbow pass to Jordan. Hands it off. There's a drive into the left corner. Pass stolen by Bethel. Nice job by Pat Edding to deflect it over here to Matt Schaus. Schaus in transition. Around the back dribble. Loads up the jump shot. Oh, and it missed it badly. And here come the Trojans. Michael Mislin getting ready to check into the ball game here momentarily at the 7:01 mark. With the ball here at the top now. Here's Durrell Jordan. Goes foul line extended left now to Wade. Back to the right side to Jesse Coffey. Back inside to the high post now to Dutcher. Dutcher backing in on Pat. And a foul called on Pat, I believe.
I think that's only Pat's first foul, though. 13 minutes into the game.
And with 6:47 to go, we have a timeout on the floor. The Pilots lead 23-22. Here at the media timeout, we'll be back right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can't. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and moves the change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Did Did you know that Gates Automotive Group is the #1 seller of pre-owned vehicles in Michiana? Gates sells more, which means Gates can give you more for your trade-in. Stop by any of our locations at Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy World, Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion South Bend, Gates Island Road, and Gates of Granger. The Gates Automotive Group serving Michiana for over 85 years.
Matt Copsey, your impressions here numerically, if you will, in the first 13 minutes.
Well, the Pilots have done a good job of controlling Kyle Stidham, but they're letting Jesse Coffey get off. Both those guys with 8 points. Offensive end for the Pilots, 7 points for Ryan Benner, 6 for Matt Schaus. Need to find a way to get Zach Miller more involved. Need to find a way to set some screens and get him some open looks at the basket.
I could not agree with you more. And at the line will be Ian Ditcher, a 61% free throw shooter, averages 5.5 points, 3 rebounds. He misses a free throw opportunity to tie it up.
And Paul, I feel like I should apologize to Darrell Jordan. The scouting report says he's not a very good foul shooter. I said the scouting report said he was a terrible foul shooter, but that's how I classify a 39% foul shooter.
23-23 ball game as 1-2 at the charity stripe ties up the ball game here. Here is Zach Miller on the right wing, hedges off the screen, goes to the far side, now to Travis Smith. Back over here to the left elbow to Michael Mislin. Miz hands it over here to Schaus, and then Schaus returns it here on the right wing now. Travis Smith off a screen, looking for some help now to Schaus. Man on the drive, stops, pops it out to Travis. Travis loads up the triple, goes off the iron long. Now to Matt Schaus. Matt cross-courts it now here to Zach. Zach on the drive, running one-hander, left it short. And the rebound ripped out of there by Darrell Jordan.
Yeah, it looked like Cronin got his hand there on the finger roll.
Over here on the near wing now. Here's Coffey for 3. Karam's off the iron, and Michael Mislin with the rebound. Up court quickly come the Pilots. Here is Matt Schaus in the deep right corner. Finds Benner at the top. Ryan, a wide open 3, and that twinkles the twine. 26-23. Ryan Benner with a high arching shot, and that one brought down some precipitation, if you will.
10 for Benner, and that's a great screen by Travis Smith. Teams aren't defending Travis Smith, and so he's got to go be a screener as opposed to just burying himself in the corner.
Pilots by 3 here at the 5:40 mark. Ball on the far wing now. Jordan Richardson. He directs some traffic over here, comes out to the top now to Darrell Jordan. Back up to the top, 3-point bomb on the way. Good to tie up the ball game by Kyle Stidham. 26-26 ball game. Here's Zach Miller on the near wing. Goes into the corner now to Matt Schaus. Schaus waits for a cutter. Comes back to the right elbow to Miz. Back here to Matt Schaus at the top of the ring. Matt still on the hard dribble. Drives down the right side of the lane, shovels it to Miz. Miz shoots and scores. Nice play, nice dish. Michael Mislin on the score sheet tonight at the 5:05 mark.
Thought Miz got away with a little travel there, but good to see him finish. Good to see Miz. He needs some positive minutes tonight.
With the basketball here now, Jordan Richardson. Pilots a 2-point leader at the 4:54 mark. Left side to Rickonen. Rickonen at the point now. Stops, looks, goes inside of the low post now here to Stidham. He powers to the go, couldn't get it. Michael Mislin the rebound. Up court quickly, 3-on-4 break. Here's Matt Schaus stopping, popping for 3. Oh, a bad shot by Matt Schaus. Missed it really bad. That's 2 really bad misses for Matty.
Two in a row, but he hasn't hit rim.
Here's ball on the near wing now, Kyle Stidham. Looking to the right side now to Jordan Richardson. Richardson with a push-off, no call. Back to Jordan here in between the rings. Back over here to Stidham. He'll back it out of harm's way, and he'll go to Coffey on the far wing. Now to Stidham at the top. Kyle will engage here off a screen. Now goes to Rickonen. 7 on the shot clock. Rickonen backing in. Back out here to the top. 3-point bomb from 27 is no good that time by Jordan Richardson. And here come the Pilots up 2. Schaus looking for some help. Comes back to Benner on the far wing. Lobs it inside to Miz. Miz powers to the goal. Up, under, and he scores! Michael Mislin. Back-to-back field goals, and the Pilots lead by 4. 3:47 to go here in the half.
Good to see Miz taking over where Pat left off. Schaus struggling from the outside. Got to have that inside presence.
Coffey with the basketball. Top of the circle, 3 on the way. Good. 30-29 in favor of the Pilots here with 3:32 to go here in the first half. Here's Schaus in the right block. Backing out. Shot on the way. Off the rim. No good. The rebound ripped out of there nicely by Darrell Jordan, the 6'5 junior for Taylor.
It's a bad defense possession and a bad offense possession by Matt Schaus.
And here's the ball deflected into the corner. Matt Schaus nearly came away with an interception that time. 3:12 to go in the first half. Bethel a 1-point leader. Ball here at the right wing now. Jordan Richardson in the deep right corner now to Kyle Stidham. And a traveling call on Rickonen.
9 turnovers now on Taylor. Coffey comes into the game with 45 three-pointers. The Pilots can't give him that kind of space defensively there. Matt Schaus just backed off and let him line one up and knock it down.
Substitutions as Schaus and Miller come out of the ballgame. So the Bethel Pilots will have on the floor Travis Smith, Ryan Benner, Brandon Gerber, Michael Mislin, and Caleb Ochin. Ochin goes down to the high post, now to Miz, back to Caleb. Caleb on the drive, shot on the way, and a foul called on the floor prior to the shot, I believe. That's a hand check. That's the 5th foul called on the Trojans with 2:53 to go in the half. Second infraction whistled on Ben Rachel, the 6-foot senior from Austin High School. As Ochin inbounds the basketball now to Miz. Miz looking for some help, goes to the high post now here to Benner at the free throw line, looking, back it in. Ryan through the defense, goes to the far wing now to Travis. Travis with a great decision here to back it out. Travis on the dribble, goes right side to Ochin. The southpaw from 3. Bucket! 33-29 Pilot as Ochin bags it.
Great decision by that Travis Smith. He's got to penetrate kick, he's got to set screens, play to his strengths on the offensive end.
Tyler Wake goes left side now here to Jesse Coffey. Going to the far side now to Richardson. Richardson lobs it inside of the low post to Dutcher, into the corner now to Rachel. Rachel stops, goes inside to Dutcher. He drives, shot on the way, scores, and he is fouled by Miz.
Got to keep your hands up. Can't get caught reached in there. And if you're going to reach in, you got to make sure it's a 2-shot foul. No and one opportunities.
2:12 to go in the half, and checking into the ballgame for the first time tonight for Taylor University will be Eric Sellier, a 6'3", 180-pound freshman. This is only his 10th game. Hails from Toledo Christian High School in Toledo, Ohio. Second bounce on that free throw. Completes the old-fashioned three-point play. 33-32 Bethel at the 2:05 mark. Miz on the right elbow. Looking for some help, hands it off to Travis Smith. Travis back over here to Ochin. Ochin reverses it back here to the near wing. Still on the dribble. Caleb looking, hesitation, kicks it in over here to Gerber. Gerber across the lane, reverses it to Ochin. Ochin, wide open shot here at the top, no good. Rebound, Michael Mislin keeps it alive. And goes back to Benner on the far wing.
I thought Caleb forced that shot. I like Caleb on a catch-and-shoot spot up as opposed to coming off the dribble.
Benner on the dribble, stops, hesitates, wrap around to Miz. Miz is there for the finish. Michael Mislin with 6 points off the bench here in the first half. Pilots lead it 35-32.
And for a change, Coach Lightfoot's yelling at Michael Mislin, but he's yelling positive things. It's a good thing. He yells at him often, but he's giving him positive encouragement. Great minutes for Miz off the bench.
There's the ball on the left elbow now. Tyler Wade coming into the near wing now to Richardson. Richardson waiting for a cutter to go by, comes back up to the top now to Eric Sellier. Finally goes to the right elbow to Wait, one-on-one with Benner. Into the right corner, now to Sellier. He backs it out, comes here on the near wing to Jesse Coffey. Wrap around to the low post, and a foul call on Michael Mislin. What was that?
They're calling any body contact down low as a foul tonight, so that's 2 on Miz.
And with 59.9 seconds to go in the first half, Big Ian Ditcher goes to the line with an opportunity to help his club get a little closer here.
It'll be a 2-shot foul, as that's 10 team fouls now on the Pilots.
Ditcher, who hails from Elgin, Illinois, went to Westminster Christian High School, averaging 5 points and 3 rebounds. 6'9", 250. He is a tall drink of water.
That's a big body.
Second free throw, no good, so a missed pair of free throws. Helps the Pilots' cause there. Ryan Benner with the ball right in front of my vantage point, along with the coach and Matt Copsey.
Got a 2-man game here with Benner and Miz.
Benner goes cross court now to Travis Smith. Travis now dribble on the point, goes to the high post to Miz. Back to Ryan Benner. Benner on the dribble. Looks, wrap around to Miz. Miz passes to a cutting Brandon Gerber. Gerber lost the handle on it, and he's fouled.
Great job by Gerber to draw contact and act like he was shooting. So.
Boy, he comes off the floor, squinting those eyes. They got a little head contact that time. Good play by Brandon Gerber, who's really stepped up his game. Talked about the way he's played during in conference play. If you look at this squad, the squad has Benner averaging 18.5 points in conference play. Schaus with 16, Zach Miller with 15, and Patrick Edding with 12. And Brandon Gerber, since he's involved in is averaging 4.5 rebounds and nearly 4 points per game in league play.
Booker checking in for Ochin there for the final 38 seconds defensively.
As Brandon corrals both free throws, Bethel leads at 37-32. Their biggest lead of the ball game was 9-3, and that was at the 16:57 mark. All here at the Tyler Waite. We'll engage here to Jesse Coffey, and Taylor going to play for the final shot of the first 20 minutes.
If I'm Benner, I'd like to see Benner up put pressure on Waite. Okay.
Kyle Stidham here with the ball at the top of the ring now. With 9 seconds on the shot clock, 10 on the game clock. Here is Stidham with the basketball with the right on ice. Stolen by Travis Smith. Oh, then it's stolen away back by the Trojans. And a shot clock violation. And the Pilots with a great defensive.
Well, they're going to say Travis Smith had a possession. Which if they do reverse this, I can't argue that. But real impressed with Waite, heady player. I think
the officials are going to.
They're pointing Bethel, but they're saying blue ball. I'll tell you what, Paul. Earlier when Waite thought Benner hit the ball out of bounds, he went and he asked the official. This time here, while the refs were discussing, Waite comes running over to the coach and says, "Hey, 3.2. What do we want to run if it's our ball?" Really heady play there.
And the officials are coming over here to discuss the issue at hand. Let's try to zero in with that crowd mic down there. And we cannot. As they
put some more time on the clock. Because they are ruling it was a shot clock violation.
Well then, if it's a shot clock.
They're saying Travis Smith had possession, so it should have reset.
With the basketball, fadeaway, 25-footer, no good. It caroms out. And the first half has come to a conclusion. The Bethel College Pilots, that certainly was not a work of art, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But after 20 minutes, the Bethel Pilots will go to the locker room, a 37-32 leader. We'll be right back with more of our halftime show and an interview with Matt Schaus right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
Summer is fast approaching, and so are sports camps at Bethel College. If your child or family member is looking to bring their game to a whole new level, then Bethel sports camps are the perfect choice. Camps are for boys and girls ages 5 to 18 and include girls basketball, boys basketball, father-son overnight basketball, cheerleading, girls softball, boys baseball, track and field, and several different soccer camps for boys and girls. There will also be tennis for both boys and girls volleyball, various overnight camps, and so much more. Our camp instructors are some of the most recognized coaches here at Bethel and bring many years of wisdom and expertise from their respective sports. Your child will be taught both the basics and advanced skills of their chosen activity in a fun, relaxed atmosphere. For registration and more information such as dates, times, and pricing on all of Bethel sports camps, visit us online at bethelcollegepilots.com/camps. Spirited competition, life-changing connections. Bethel College Athletics. We are the ground for spirited connections.
Once again, we want to thank our friends at the Gates Automotive Group for their long-time support. The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen in action each day by the Gates family with their involvement in the local community. One of those is right here at Bethel College. The Gates family has been actively involved in many of our local churches, colleges, and universities. The Gates Automotive Group, family-owned and operated, has been serving Michiana for over 85 years. Earlier today, I had a chance to sit down and visit one-on-one with Matt Schaus, the junior guard at Bethel College, and got some thoughts on the 2013-14 season. Welcome back here at halftime. Bethel College Pilots taking on Taylor University. We're visiting with Matt Schaus of Bethel College, junior member of the men's basketball team. Matt, coming into today's action, outstanding campaign, 14.5 points, nearly 6 rebounds, 5 assists on the season. Matt, first of all, let's just kind of talk about how important the win was against Mount Vernon this past Saturday after snapping that 3-game skid.
Yeah, it's definitely huge. Getting over that hump, getting over that obstacle, getting the win after 2 straight losses, just motivates us from here and definitely helps us in conference and improving that area.
When you look at the after today's game, you'll have seen everybody in the league at least one time, and obviously we're recording this interview prior to the Taylor game, but I know you've seen them on film. Just your thoughts in general on playing in the nation's toughest basketball conference.
You know, it is the toughest conference for sure. 5 teams in the top 25. You know, Gray starts out 0-5, beats the 3 best teams in the conference. You know, it's crazy conference, but even though we have 4 losses, I still believe that we are the best team in the conference, and I believe we'll show that in the second part of the season here.
You and I have kind of joked, you know, since I've known you actually as a junior in high school. When I first met you when I was working on my Indiana Football Digest, I got this great love for guys who play American tackle football, because I think it just teaches you so much about being a great teammate and so much about a competitive nature. And I've always said it's really neat to watch Matt Schaus play, because it's like watching a great quarterback play, a.k.a. like a Peyton Manning, who does so many things on the floor to help his team. Case in point with the stat line that I started with, talking about scoring, rebounding, being able to distribute the basketball. So let's talk about how you bring that football mentality into the basketball setting.
Yeah, I was definitely blessed to be able to play football for 4 years, and it definitely brings a lot of toughness to the table, adds that to it. You know, competing in high school as a football player, you know, I think that's the best way to compete is, you know, tackling each other. That's a dogfight out there. I think I bring that to our team and onto the court, and you know, playing quarterback, you just, you know, distribute to the wide receivers, kind of like the same thing. Point guard distributing to Pat, to Zach, to Bennett, to all those guys who score and finish.
One thing that's been very, very apparent is I got to know you and your family. You got a wonderful family base. Loved ones listen to the games, travel. Your brother Drew, of course, was here. Mom and Dad are trying to get to as many games as possible. But when you have that great family support, how important is that for you when you necessarily you're having a bad game, tough things going on in school, that kind of stuff? How important is that to you?
It's unbelievable. I take for granted sometimes of what all they do. They drive 3.5 hours here, watch the game, 3.5 hours back, and then go to work the next day. So I'm definitely blessed to have them as my parents and as my family. A lot of my family members come. My Uncle Don, he's a great supporter of us. He loves the game, loves our players. You know, I'm really blessed to have them as family members.
All right, let's talk about the decision to come to Bethel College in retrospect. Now that you've been here, you're a part of which arguably, a lot of people could say maybe the 2 best guard tandem that they've had in the program in maybe a decade and a half or so. When you look at you and Zach, make a decision all over again, you still make the same decision?
I definitely do. I couldn't have made a better decision. It worked out great. You know, the team's like a family to me, second family. Playing with Zach's fun too. I mean, you know, a guy who doesn't miss much, you know, spreads out the defense, and I can pass him the ball. You know, it's definitely been fun.
All right, final question, we'll wrap it up. Coach Lightfoot going for number 700 here tonight, and I've been blessed to be able to be a part of about half of those, I think, when it's all said and done. Give us an idea on what it's like being able to play with someone who's in the NEI Hall of Fame, and of course he's got a great coaching staff to go along with it.
Yeah, it's great. You can definitely tell all the hard work he puts in on and off the court to make us better players and to make us better people. You know, it's a great accomplishment to get 700 wins, and we're going to get it done tonight for him.
Okay. Once again, Matt Schaus joining us here at halftime. We'll be back with more Bethel basketball right after this on Regional Radio Sports. Always great to visit with the student athletes. Some Crossroads League dynamics. I want to share those with you here. Once again, 37-32. And in case you're just joining us, got a note from Tony Miller, who's a part of our team at Regional Radio Sports, but also is at Goshen College. He does the Goshen College men's game. Neil Young has taken an indefinite medical leave of absence. No new health issues, stepping back from the grind, simultaneously treatment and coaching. He has had cancer and it's been a really difficult situation. So assistant coach Brandon Wilkin acting as the head coach. Also some scores to pass along. Grace with another important game today at Mount Vernon of Nazarene. They are up 45-39 at the half in a key matchup of 8th-ranked St. Francis. Based upon the new rating poll, and Huntington is all the way up to number 20 now. Huntington at home are up 39-32 at the break there. So big opportunity there for the Huntington University Foresters, a win for them. and a loss by St. Francis, obviously, that would tie that whole scenario up. So we're going to take a timeout. Coaches went out to the locker room. He spent some time with the coaching staff, and we'll engage in that when we come back after the timeout. Once again, 37-32, the Bethel Pilots at the break. We'll be right back after this on Regional Radio Sports.
Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. And all was Benjamin Franklin wise. So you actually think electricity can pass through metal? Ha! Go Franklin, go Flaherty! Excellent idea. Where are my keys?
Besides the bifocals, Ben invented the Franklin stove, the odometer, and the lightning rod. Ingenuity, pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can't. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and moves the change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello there, this is Nat King Cole, wishing you all a happy and a Merry Christmas.
The joy of living is in the giving. So let's give lots of toys for tots.
Since 1947, the United States Marine Corps has been helping Santa fill his sleigh, making happier holidays for deserving children right in your community. Go to toysfortots.org and learn how you can make a difference.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Our first half particulars have come to a conclusion. Let me make a correction that Huntington is on top 39-22. So a big first half by the Foresters. And of course,
Huntington over St. Francis, huh?
That's an important ball game to keep everything. Coach, you remember in our first broadcast, I thought we were going to have a 4-loss champion in the Crossroads League. And if St. Francis comes into that at 2 losses, we're right on cue as we reach the midway point.
And everybody gets to play everybody one more time. So that's what happens in this conference. You can't take a night off.
So you had a chance to go into the locker room. Give me your impressions of what's going on there.
A lot more positive than the last time I was in there from a overall perspective, but made the same observations that you and I talked about before the game. They just said it's like playing in a morgue tonight. There's no energy in the stands, and therefore the players need to create some energy, and they're not. They're not talking, and they didn't execute the scouting report. That was the big key, was letting Coffey and Rachel hit those 3-pointers. But they've got a lead. They got some real good minutes out of Michael Mizzen. They were happy with that, and I think they're just trying to talk to the guys about more energy and more communication.
All right, and then if that is the case, my point was to you, looking at the stats, and we'll go over the stats with Matt here momentarily, the Pilot tandem of Schaus and Miller with 8 points in the first half, a woeful first half, really, numerically speaking, and you're up 5. So let's go on over to Matt Schaus, and we'll hear some thoughts, once again to Matt Cobsey, who is going to tell us some more about Matt Schaus. That's two times in 2 consecutive games, Matt Cobsey.
Well, Matt Schaus is 2 of 5 from the field.
And I'm 0 for 2 in the last game.
And 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He's got 6 points in the game. For Taylor, Darrell Jordan, 0 of 0 from the field, 0 of 1 from the free throw line. Ian Dutcher, 1 of 1 from the field, 0 of 2 from the free throw line. He's got 2 of 5 from the free throw line, He's got 4 points. Ben Rachel, 2 of 2 from the field for 6 points. Jesse Coffey, 4 of 8 from the field for 11 points. Kyle Stidham, 5 of 8 from the field for 11 points. Jordan Richardson played but did not score, as did Tyler Waite, Eric Sellier, and Josh Rakonen. Taylor in the first half was 12 out of 22 from the field for 55%, 6 out of 12 from three-point range for 50%, 2 out of 6 from the free throw line, 33%. For the Pilots, Travis Smith, 1 out of 2 from the field, 2 points. Matt Schaus, 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 6 points. Zach Miller, 1 of 4 from the field for 2 points. Ryan Benner, 4 of 7 from the field for 10 points. Pat Inning, 2 of 4 from the field, 4 points. Caleb Ocean, 1 of 2 from the field for 3 points. Landon Booker played but did not score. Brandon Gerber 1 of 2 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 points. Michael Mislin 3 of 3 from the field for 6 points. And Ryan Wassey played but did not score. Bethel was 15 out of 31 from the field for 48%, 4 out of 11 from three-point range for 36%, and they were 3 out of 4 from the free throw line for 75%. Bethel lost the battle of the boards in the first half. Taylor had 14, 3 each for Jordan and Dutcher, 13 for the Pilots, 5 for Mislin, 3 for Edding. 6 assists for Taylor in the first half, 2 for Jordan to lead the way, 10 for the Pilots, 3 for Schaus, 2 for Benner, 2 for Edding. 10 turnovers for Taylor, only 3 for Bethel, 3 block shots for Taylor in the first half, 1 each for Jordan, Dutcher, and Rakonen. Bethel had no blocks, only 1 steal for Taylor in the first half, that for Ian Dutcher, 6 for the Pilots, 2 for Schaus, 1 for Smith, 1 for Miller, Benner, and Ryan Wassey.
You know, I look at these stats, Michael Mislin has worked his way into the doghouse, didn't see the floor at Mount Vernon, and came off in 6 minutes, 3 for 3 from the field, 6 points, 5 rebounds. And Paul, you and I talked before the game, statistically, he's the best field goal percentage shooter on this team, the best offensive rebounder on this team, second in team in block shots. They need Michael Mislin to contribute if they're going to go anywhere this season, especially if they're going to make a run to Branson. And that's what's good to see him respond.
I don't think there's any question about it. We see Brandon Gerber work his way out of Chateau Bow Wow. And once again, we have to see Michael do the same type of scenario. The bottom line is if you have 10 fouls to give in the post and you don't lose a lot offensively, you can be really, really effective in the Crossroads League.
Yeah, and especially a night like tonight where you've got Dutcher, who's 2 for 5 from the foul line, Jordan, who's shooting 40% from the foul line on the season. If those guys get it down low, make them go to the line and earn it, that could come up big here late in the game.
All right, once again, live from Bethel College, the Taylor Trojans decked out in the purple shorts with the gold and white trim. And, of course, the gold numbers trim in white. The Bethel College Pilots decked out in the gray shorts, the gray jerseys, white numbers with the dark blue trim. We're glad that you can join us here on Regional Radio Sports. I'm Paul Condry along with Matt Copsey, Coach Mark Gardner here, and we appreciate you being with us as the Pilots will be moving from right to left on your screen. Schaus, Edding, Miller, Travis Smith, and the guy with the ball, Ryan Benner. Benner throws it away on the first play from scrimmage.
And I'm sure that's exactly what Coach drew up at halftime. That'll drive coaches nuts.
With a basketball, and on the floor for Taylor, it'll be Ben Rachel, Jesse Coffey, Darrell Jordan, Kyle Stidham, and Ian Ditcher. And just like that, Kyle Stidham scores on the first possession of the half, and the Trojans are within 3 at 37-34.
At some point tonight, the Pilots have got to make Kyle Stidham stop with his dribble and not just get to the bucket for a layup.
Here's Benner with a basketball in the low post left block. Goes over here to Schaus, back inside of the two-man game. Benner, fadeaway 12-footer, good. 39-34 as Benner nails the nice fadeaway.
Just does such a good job of creating space with his body.
But once again, I know you don't like the shot.
You know what? There's a difference between his fadeaway when he backs it in and when he just catches and spins and shoots. And I think that it comes down to patience.
With the basketball here, a nice play by Pat Edding on a steal on the Ian Dutcher. Miscue. Here's Schaus on the near wing. On the dribble, drives down the right side of the lane. Shot on the way, no good, but Matt's going to go to the line for a pair. I like the aggressive movement to the goal.
Absolutely. Put his head down, went to the basket, and I'm sure I wasn't in the locker room long enough to find out, but I'm sure Coach Lightfoot had some words for Matt because he was not happy with his first half performance.
So Matt to go to the charity stripe on the season. The junior, 78% at the charity stripe. Eye it, fly it, and knock it down. Pilots have matched their biggest lead of the night at 6 at 40-34, 18:46 to go here in the second 20 minutes.
2 fouls now on Stidham.
And Matt 1 of 2 at the line. And the Trojans to move from left to right respectively. Ben Rachel, the 6-foot senior from Austin High School, with the ball out here. Dribble to the left side where he hands it off now to Darrell Jordan. Back into the right elbow. The Coffey back out to the top now to Jordan. Jordan looking for some help. Goes left side now to Stidham. Stidham on the dribble. And I was screened out of the way, but there's Ditcher for an easy basket off a screen.
Screen and slip, and nobody guarded Ditcher. Double team Stidham with the ball.
Zach Miller with the ball here. Jump pass to Ryan Benner. Benner will load up the triple and bury the three-point bomb. 43-36. Ryan Benner with it. 5 points here in the early going. Up to half.
15 now for Benner.
Here's a drive by Stidham.
That's an offensive foul.
A charge taken by Patrick Edding, the former Concordia Lutheran cadet.
And I didn't get a chance to say this after Stidham picked up his second, but I was saying a good chance he can get his third because you know he's going to go to the basket. That's all he's done tonight.
Ditcher comes out of the ball game now for Taylor, and back in will be Rickonen. I thought Rickonen played very well, the 6-foot senior from Elkhart Central.
Yes, he did. Now, last two possessions for both teams, aside from the charge, the Pilots didn't talk on the screen roll. Layup for Taylor. Taylor doesn't talk on the screen roll. Three-pointer for Benner. Young men have to communicate on the floor.
Zach Miller, double team goes now to Benner on the right side, inside to Pat, and Pat missed the tip in. And Pat got it back, and he is hit from behind. Boy, Pat, instead of going up strong, he went up a little laissez-faire, if you will.
I think he wanted to dunk it and couldn't
elevate.
Yeah, couldn't get up.
Here is Pat Edding here at the free throw line, and what's the call on?
Be a hold on Jordan.
And Pat slams his hand on the ball, and
not to bring back bad memories, but that little missed dunk there. I see Joe Welsh from Branson a few years back.
Oh yeah,
I've never had the problem to have to decide whether I was going to dunk or not. But those big guys, they make it look so easy sometimes.
Ryan Benner, 3-point shot at the top of the ring. God, off the assist from Matt Schaus. 46-36. Bethel's got its biggest lead of the ball game at 17-31.
18 for Benner. Good to see him step up in a night where Zach Miller's not scoring.
Top of the ring now. Wade goes left side now to Kyle Stidham. Stidham will give way and back out to Rachel with the right elbow there. Here's Wade. Hand off to Stidham into the low post to Rickonen. Rickonen inside. Powers missed it. Tipped up. No good. Rebound, Pat Edding. Here's Benner on the breakout up the left sideline. Into the corner now here to Travis Smith. Travis on the dribble. Finds Benner back here behind him. Now to Matt Schaus in the deep left corner. Matt now here on the near wing. Stops and pops from 19 and knocks it down. Timeout Taylor University. The Pilots have increased their advantage to 48-36. Timeout Taylor University. 16:52 to go in the first half. 48-36 Pilots.
The Gates Automotive Group has been serving Michiana for over 85 years. The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen each day at Gates Downtown, Gates Chevy World Mishawaka, Gates Toyota Scion South Bend, Gates Island Road, and Gates of Granger. For 85 years, Gates dealerships have been providing great growth opportunities for all of its employees. If you're interested in becoming one of our team members, stop by a family-owned and operated business. For more information on Gates Automotive Group, check out the website at www.gatesautomotive.com.
11-4 start, Matt Copsey by the Pilots.
Yeah, and Coach Andrews getting a little animated over there in the huddle at his players, kind of yelling at him and trying to get him motivated to play some defense. They're kind of leaving open for some shots, and that's the one thing Bethel here in the second half, 4 out of 6 from the field. Ryan Benner, 3 out of 3.
One thing about it, looking at Josh Andrews, honestly, Coach, he looks like he's about 28.
Yeah, a young man, very intense on the sidelines. You see him kind of directing his players, similar to my coaching style. I like talking my guys through stuff. I don't know if they ever listen to me, but I feel good that I'm in charge, and so he does a lot of that, getting guys in place. And as he said, it's a transition. We talked to Coach Young at Goshen about that you got to get your things in place.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers go out to Neil Young. Here's a steal by Travis Smith. Travis to the goal, and he scores!
And as we said coming out of halftime, not exactly what Coach drew up during that timeout, but sometimes it happens.
And the Pilots are bringing the heat now. Here's a pass over here, kicked out by Matt Schaus.
It's a 2-2-1 press by the Pilots, which we haven't seen as much of this year, the 80 press.
And to inbound the basketball. Go ahead, Matt.
Bethel's currently on a 10-0 run now to build up the lead to 14.
Ball on the near sideline. Jesse Coffey goes down to the right elbow, now to Wade. Backdoor play. Oh, an easy goal opportunity by Rickonen. And he missed the shot. Here come the Pilots. Schaus on the far wing, puts on the brakes. Cross courts with the Benner on the near wing. Ryan Benner inside now to Pat. Pat to the goal. And an illegal screen set up by who? Travis Smith on the illegal screen.
I don't know.
Coach, I missed it. I was watching the ball.
Yeah, it had to be away. I don't know who Travis was screening because Pat's guy was, so maybe it was a help side defense coming over to, and so Travis got in the way of that because Pat's guy was up on Benner. So Must have been help side defense that he was screening.
Rachel with the basketball here on the right sideline, now to Richardson. Richardson puts on the brakes, deep right corner pass. Jump shot from three, good. A much-needed basket by Jesse Coffey and the Trojans. That makes it 50-39.
14 points now for Coffey.
Still a ton of time to play.
Got to find shooters in the defense.
Here's Schaus at the top now. Looks for some help, wrap around to the low post, and there's Pratt with a dunk. There's the authority.
Yep. Got his legs under that time.
15:47 to go, and that two-hand slam propels the Pilots to a 52-39 advantage.
6 points now for Pat.
No question about that one.
No, he knew what he wanted to do with that one.
With the basketball here on the near wing now, Jordan Richardson. Far wing now, foul line extended to Jordan. Left elbow now, Raikkonen. The Elkhart Central standout goes back out here to Coffey, wrap around to Raikkonen. Raikkonen, nice defensive play by Travis Smith. Back out to the top now to Coffey, and Coffey buries the triple.
You can't leave him, Ryan Benner.
52-42, 15-12 to go. Here's Zach Miller at the top, screen and roll to Pat. Here's a kick by Waite, and it'll be Bethel basketball.
Benner does such a great job. He was denying Coffey the ball, away from the ball, and then he got sucked in on the help side, drop down defense there, and you can't leave the shooter. Make somebody else score for this team besides Coffey right now.
Here's Pat Edding in the deep right corner. Comes back out to Schaus on the right wing. Pat looking for a screen and roll. Here's Schaus with an air ball, but it goes into the hands of Benner, and now it's deflected into the hands of Raikkonen of Taylor. Here come the Trojans. Rachel on the near wing now. Goes out here to the top now to Richardson. Richardson looking for some help right side now to Ben Rachel. Rachel foul line extended right. Goes back to Raikkonen. Raikkonen back to the far wing. And go over there to Jordan Richardson. 17 on the shot clock. They come up a little bit high now. It's here to Jesse Coffey. Now to Raikkonen. Raikkonen on the high block. Running one-hander. Scored a foul call. Nice play that time by Raikkonen to knock it down. And that closes the Bethel advantage to 52-44 at the 14:30 mark.
8-2 run here by Taylor, I believe. 2 fouls now on Pat Edding. Raikkonen a chance to cut in the lead even more.
Once again, Pilots still have not been able to get Zach Miller on track. His free throw no good. Here's Zach Miller, a long three-point shot off the iron, no good. A rebound. Ben Rachel, and a foul called on Travis Smith.
Coach Lightfoot feels Zach's force in that one. Pat's feeling, or Zach's feeling the same thing you are, that he's not involved right now. And 3 fouls on Travis.
With the basketball to the left of the lane, the Pilots bringing the heat now. Back here now is Richardson. Over to Waite on the near wing. Shovels it inside of Raikkonen. Raikkonen had it slapped away from behind by Zach Miller. Is there a foul called or what?
No, dropped out of bounds there. Raikkonen just couldn't get a handle on the first pass there by Waite. Real nice pass by Waite.
To inbound here will be Richardson into the right side, now to Waite. Back out to Raikkonen. Jump shot on the far wing by Coffey is off the iron. Good. Raikkonen working hard for the rebound. He drives inside. Slapped away by Pat Edding. And then it'll be Taylor University basketball to inbound. Fresh set.
Good hustle by Raikkonen. Good defense by Pat.
Richardson to inbound to the right of the lane. Waits for a screen. Goes over here to Raikkonen. Raikkonen scores inside as Pat got beat on a screen on the inbound. 52-46. Pilots.
Pat got screened. Ryan Benner didn't switch. Didn't talk him through it.
Top of the ring now. Here's Travis Smith. Goes left side now to Benner. Benner will load up the triple. In and out. No good. Pat Edding tips it out here to Travis. Travis is hit inside. And that foul will earn him. Nope, or just a common foul. It'll be the 4th on the Trojans. And I believe we have a media timeout yet.
No, because Taylor called the foul, that wiped it out.
So Schaus to inbound the basketball. Goes here to Miller. Zach here on the near corner looking. Comes back out to Benner. Benner back to Zach on the near wing. Zach Miller backing out of harm's way. Hedges off a screen. Back over here to Benner. Into the corner to Schaus. Schaus on the dribble. And a foul on the hand check. That'll be the 5th foul whistled on the Taylor University Trojans. Here at the 13:27 mark.
2 on Josh Raikkonen. 2 on Jesse Coffey as well.
So to inbound the basketball will be Schaus to the left of the lane this time. Looking. Goes inside to Travis Smith. Smith to the goal, and he banks it up and in. 54-46 as Travis scores his second field goal in the last 5 minutes.
6 points on the night now for Travis.
For the ball here on the near wing, Jordan Richardson. on the dribble. Nice step out that time by Zach Miller. There's a jump shot from three, no good. Rebound. Benner tipped it into the hands of teammate Ryan Wassink. Pilots with numbers. Here is Matt Schaus with a drive down the lane, and that'll be a foul, and that'll be number 6 on the team now on the Trojans with the 13:02 mark.
More importantly, that's going to be 3 fouls on Jesse Coffey with 13 minutes to go, and he's been the majority of their offense tonight.
And a whole line change now for the Trojans as Kyle Stidham checks back in. Darrell Jordan checks back into the contest now. And also checking back in. And there's a whistle away from the basket.
Richardson, I believe, pushing on Benner.
And that's going to be number 7, and that'll be the Pilots going to 1 in bonus now from here on in.
And the difference between that inbounds play and what took place in the end down here is that Taylor actually set screens on their baseline out of bounds play. The Pilots just interchange. They don't do a good job of setting screens for one another.
And Landy Booker checks in for Bethel, and Travis Smith, who's really worked hard today, as he always does.
Yeah, much better night defensively for Travis.
At the line for the Pilots will be Ryan Benner, 69% free throw shooter on 1 in bonus. And Coach, he really struggled at the line at Mount Vernon.
Yeah. I listened to you remind us of that. Yeah, he did. It's frustrating to see a guy like Ryan go 12 for 18 from the field, but 3 for 8 from the foul line,
right.
3 for 9 from the foul line. You know he can do it.
And he'll be one more for the senior from Mishawaka High, and he converts. And you and I will be over at his alma mater on Friday with our game on 95.7 The Fan.
I think him and Brooks should come join us for the Adams-Mishawaka game.
As a matter of fact, I've invited both of them.
There you go.
I hope that we can have a chance to do that.
20 points now for Ryan tonight.
With the ball here on the near wing now, Eric Sellier comes back out to the top. Now Darrell Jordan back to the right elbow. Is
Gerber doing a great job on Stidham.
And Gerber just checked into the ballgame. That should have been an illegal screen on Dutcher. Back on the far wing now, Eric Sellier. Back out to the top, 3-point shot on the way, in and out, no good. A rebound. Pilots gave up an offensive rebound again on that missed shot that time by Stidham.
Yeah, great job of switching by Wassink and Gerber, and Wassink got a hand up on the shot. Gerber forgot to block out.
Ben Rachel with the basketball here. Here at the 45-foot mark, goes left side now to Kyle Stidham. Stidham on the drive, and that'll be a foul whistled on the Pilots on the hand check. Brandon Gerber guilty of the infraction here at the 12:09 mark.
Only
that'll
14
be the
fouls.
Yeah. That'll be his second infraction and the team's 4th. And Taylor to inbound on the far sideline away from our vantage point here at midcourt. As Stidham triggers it inside here now to Sellier. Now Sellier looking for some help. Fakes right. Oh, he drug his pivot foot.
Yes, he did.
That guy here now to Stidham. Stidham off a screen, still on the dribble. Nice step out that time by Ryan Benner. Benner all on the short set time now. Stidham goes into the low post to Darrell Jordan. Back inside, a running one-hander, in and out, no good. A rebound, and that goes off of Ryan Wassink. I was screened out of the play there, Coach, so I didn't see who got good defense on the screen.
No, it was good defense there. Gerber got a hand on the shot, and Wassink just couldn't corral the rebound. Good hustle, just a tough break for Ryan.
Ryan once again playing with that broken house. Michael Mislin checks back in at the 11:49 mark. And Rachel inbounds the basketball out here on the perimeter now to Stidham. Hedges off a screen. There's a drive from the left, block shot, no good. And I'm screened out of the way, Coach.
I got to be Gerber. Gerber for a block and the box out.
Invariably, I have the same official standing right in front of me.
It drives me nuts when officials say that. They say the foul is on Gerber because he went under the rebounder. Well, that's called over the back. You can view it the other way. Is the glass half empty or half full? The defender went over Gerber, but they called it foul for going under the defender.
Ben Rachel with the basketball in the far corner, loads up the triple over Booker, off the rim, no good. And Brandon Gerber grabs that rebound with authority. Here's Ryan Benner on the near wing. On the drive, jump pass out here to Matt Schaus. Matty goes back to Ryan Benner. Back to Matt. Here on the near wing, Matt dribbles, shovels it off to Benner. Benner, a wide open triple off the iron, no good. Rebound tapped out and landed Booker. Off the deflection from Miz. Back to Book, and Book buries the football. Landon Booker with a 3-point bomb at the 11:13 mark. Propels Bethel to a 10-point game, and Booker's 4th of the season. A big one right there.
That's a big one. Great job by Mislin to keep that alive.
Back here is Kyle Stidham. Foul line extended left now to Darrell Jordan. Darrell Jordan now to Dutcher. Dutcher turns and squares, goes back to Rachel. His 17-foot shot screen on is good.
It's a real nice down screen there by Jordan. 8 points for Rachel tonight. It's a good offense for Taylor.
59-48 in favor of the Pilots. Here's Landon Booker, three-point shot. Good again! Landon Booker with back-to-back three-point bombs have catapulted the Pilots to a 62-48 advantage with 10:37 to go here in regulation. We'll be right back after this brief timeout on Regional Radio Sports.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Back live to our broadcast location inside the Gates Gymnasium. Thanks again to our friends at Gates. My, oh my, are they the best.
The Gates promise of fairness, honesty, and integrity can be seen in action each day by Gates family with their involvement in the local community. The Gates family has been actively involved with many local churches, colleges, and universities. Gates Automotive Group is family-owned and operated and has been serving Michiana for over 85 years.
So the Pilots, after the timeout that they took at the 10:37 mark, will dig in on defense with Ochin and a whistle. All right, shot clock change here, so it'll be Ochin along with Brandon Gerber, Landon Booker, Zach Miller, and Michael Mislin is on the floor. And the Pilots to move from left to right once again, this time a 62-48 leader. Here's a drive down the right side of the lane, and a nice play by Jordan Richardson to create contact as well as earn a pair of free throws.
Yeah, he just beat Booker off the dribble and kind of left Mislin out to dry. Miz tried to block the shot, but Richardson threw his body in there, sent himself to the line. That's going to be 3 fouls now on Miz.
Landon coming over to talk to Coach Natali and Ryan Lightfoot, and actually Mike Lightfoot will engage. And if they're talking, seeing how he's doing. 62-49 with all the medical issues that Landon has had. Yeah, what a courageous senior season he has gone to. 62-50 in favor of the Pilots here with 10.5 to go. Caleb Ochin puts on the brakes at the top, hands it off to Zach Miller. Miller looking for some help, goes back to Caleb. Caleb Ochin at the point, now to Booker on the near wing. Booker on the drive, inside stops, fakes, missed the shot. But Mislin's to the goal, he scores! 64-50, Michael Mislin cleaning the glass.
What a night for Michael Mislin. Way to respond. There's a big screen on Ochin that Zach Miller didn't talk about. Ochin took one to the head there.
With a basketball here at the top now, Jordan Richardson for Taylor. Goes to the high post right side, now to Darrell Jordan. Back here to the point, now to Coffey. Comes around a screens, three-point shot. Karams in and out, and Caleb Ochin the rebound for BC. Pilots in transition. Here's Landon Booker on the far wing. Fakes, goes back to Ochin here on the near wing, and Caleb re-engages. Caleb around a high side screen, looks, goes back out to the top to Gerber. Into the corner to Booker. Landon Booker on the dribble, and a traveling call on Booker.
And he had Miz with good post position down there. He was trying to get the ball to Miz. Shuffled his feet before he could bounce the pass in there. 7 turnovers now on the Pilots.
Darrell Jordan to inbound the basketball against full court Bethel pressure.
No, Wade over here in front of the Bethel bench.
Check that. Thank you, Coach. So Taylor Wade, the 6'7 junior from Tri-West on the near sideline in front of the Bethel contingent. Inbounds it to Coffey, and Coffey will give way now to Richardson, and they'll move it from left to right. Richardson one-on-one with Booker here as he comes across the timeline now to the far side, now to Wade. Tyler Wade goes lobbing inside here, blocked away. What a great defensive play. That time by Brandon Gerber. Back to Wade on the far wing. Tyler Wade gives Wade and Raconen to the goal. And what a play defensively by Michael Mislin. Miz with a solid play.
That's a great job by Gerber and Miz. I wish Gerber could have got a hand up and deflected the lob, but he recovered to block the lob, and then students let him know that he got swatted.
So Caleb Ochin will walk it up over the timeline now here at the 9:05 mark. His club, a 14-point advantage. Zach Miller off a screen. Jump pass out here to Booker. Booker back to Zach on the far wing. Zach will load up the triple, and he's fouled, and he'll shoot 3.
And that's going to be 4 fouls on Coffey. Great back screen, re-screen by Michael Mislin. He set the screen and then set the back screen.
So Zach Miller has been a very, very quiet night for the top shooter in the Country.
Coach Andrews is saying that Zach kicked his feet out, which we've seen Zach do, but the ref said he got hit on the arm.
And the first free throw by Zach is good here, so it's 65-50 Pilots. Second free throw by number 22 is also good, 66-50.
The wheels are about to fall off on this one, I think. Taylor needs a basket this possession. Coach is getting frustrated, players are getting frustrated.
67-50 on the 3 free throws by Zach. Pretty quiet day for Zach Miller, nonetheless, Matt Copsey.
5 points. One out of 6 in the field.
There's another turnover.
From the free throw line.
Another turnover by Taylor. Can't inbound the ball against the Bethel press. It's going to be 15 turnovers now on the Trojans.
Caleb Ochen to inbound the basketball for the Pilots. Underneath his zone goal, left side, now to Gerber. Finds the ball here to Caleb Ochen. I want to wish a happy birthday to Caleb Ladig, who just had a birthday just recently. And here's a foul on Michael Mislin.
That's a tough one there on Miss. Good hustle by Gerber and Richardson over here chasing on a loose ball.
And a nice sportsmanship-like play by Brandon Gerber. It appeared one of the Taylor Trojans was going to go flying into the scorer's bench over here. And that's the last place you want to be, is anywhere near the scoreboard operator.
See Coach Lightfoot giving Michael a little pat on the butt, tell him good minutes tonight for Michael Mislin. Pat Edding checking back in now as Miz has 4 fouls.
8:44 to go in regulation. Bethel by 17. Free throw off the rim, no good. Brandon Gerber, another rebound. Ochen up the right sideline. Now here to Zach Miller. Shovels it inside to Pat Edding. And a great job by Josh McConan running the floor.
He's had a really good night. I don't know what his scoring numbers are, but he's really worked hard. 4 points only, but a lot of stuff that doesn't show up in the scorebook with his hustle.
Pilots to inbound. It'll be Ochen to trigger the inbound over 6'7" junior Tyler Waite. Goes here to Pat Edding. Back here to Caleb Ochen. Ochen in between the circles, goes right side now to Zach. Zach screen and roll now here to Pat. Pat goes back to Book at the point. Landon drives down the lane, running one-hander, and Booker closes the deal that time. 69-50 BC as Book has had a great second half.
Wow, Gerber's almost had that one. 8 points now for Book.
Here's Ben Rachel with the ball over the timeline now. Goes right side now to Waite. Waite looking for some help. Goes to the free throw line now here to Richardson. Backdoor play. Here's Rickonen. His shot is good. Nice job as he got Pat in the air. 69-52. 7:59 to go.
Yeah, it's a real nice pass by Stidham on the drive there.
Booker on the near wing. Off the screen and roll. Drives down the lane. Jump pass now to Brandon Gerber. Gerber goes back to Ochen in the corner. Caleb on the drive. Shovels it over to Pat. Pat shoots. Missed the shot. Tipped up around and corralled by Kyle Stidham. Stidham from behind, driving down the right side of the lane. Oh, what a play by, was it Zach Miller coming out of nowhere?
Back, yep.
Up court quickly. Landon Booker stops. Pops. 3 off the front of the iron. No good. And Rickonen tracks down the rebound.
I know he had his last 2, but I want to see Booker take that one to the basket.
With the basketball now here, top of the ring now. Jordan Richardson goes to the right side to Kyle Stidham. Stidham looking for some help. We got a little mismatch in there on that switch. Back here, Rachel. 17-foot shot, no good. Rebound. Pilots missed the box out. His Waite throws up a prayer, no good. And timeout for yours truly. 7:05 to go in regulation. Bethel, a 69-52 leader. We'll be right back after this brief timeout on Regional Radio Sports.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can't. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and moves the change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
You get to the top, get hooked in, and then you look over the edge. I was like, no way am I jumping off this tower. I'm staying right here. I'm like, am I ever going to be good enough to be a Marine? When it was all said and done, watching the color guard raise the American flag, I thought, I am a United States Marine.
PFC Keith Balka knows you don't join the Marines, you become one. Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Back live here to the Y Camp Athletic Center inside the Gates Gymnasium. Paul Condry along with the coach, Mark Gardner, and Matt Copsey. here to my immediate left, taking care of all of the statistical information, Chinese country on all the scores and details. We have several of them coming in. We'll get them to you here momentarily. Jordan Richardson from Taylor inbounds the basketball, comes out here long to the top now to Kyle Stidham. He drives down the far side of the lane, reverses it back to the top now to Wade. Wade jumps, shot no good, rebound. Rakonen beaten Matt Schaus on a rebound that time. Well, I tell you what, Rakonen has just played his keister off.
Yeah, he has. He's had a real nice game, and he's back in his home area here, being from Elkhart. But Matt's got to box out.
With 15 minutes to go in regulation, Indiana Wesleyan leads Goshen 55-43, and with 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go in regulation, Huntington on top of St. Francis by 19.
Wow.
69-53 our score here. Second free throw rattles around and in. And that's the way you start a comeback. With a dead clock. This game is not over. Here's Zach Miller with the ball on the far wing now. On the crossover. Goes back out the top. That'll Benner. Benner on Schaus on the near wing. Matt on the dribble. Jump pass over to Ryan Benner, and the quarterback fortunate that wasn't thrown away.
Yeah, that was it's a good look, but that was way too much on that pass. That's a tough catch for Ryan Benner.
So Schaus to inbound. The basketball goes here, and a foul. And they called an illegal screen on Pat Edding.
Nope, Travis Smith. Yep, Pat got run over, but Travis threw an elbow. And Travis is smiling, but we know Travis does that stuff. He leaned in, and that's his fourth foul. It's going to be 8 turnovers now on the Pilots.
And Taylor will move from left to right on the inbounds.
Pat's.
As we have a uniform situation because of blood on Pat's uniform.
Yeah, Pat's bleeding from the thumb, and they got that wrapped up.
And here's a long pass. Pat
great job by Pat
on the interception. And Smith over to Miller. Miller for three, off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound Tyler Waite for Taylor University.
Zach forcing tonight.
Ben Rachel across the timeline now into the forecourt man. Looking for some help. Hands it off here, right in front of our vantage point to Richardson. Jordan Richardson dribbles all the way to the far side on the wing. Goes into the corner to Rachel. Rachel will load up the triple over Zach Miller off the iron. A good Travis Smith the rebound. Up court quickly if they hurry. Here's Ryan Benner with a drive inside. Missed it. Pat Edding was fouled from behind, and there was no call.
Yeah,
that is horrendous.
That's that same undercut that they've called twice in the Pilots.
Here's Rakonen with a drive inside. Ball's on the floor, and we got a steal by the Pilots. Here's Travis Smith. It's getting out of control now.
Yeah, it is. You got to take care of the ball here. Get a good possession.
Here's Travis with a drive inside, and he's hammered.
And Waite got hurt there. He came down hard.
And we'll have a fresh set of Taylor Trojans. We got a whole light change coming in here after this whistle with 5:48 to go. That'll send Travis Smith to the line. Travis on the season, a 65% free throw shooter, averages 1 steal, 1.5 assists, 2 rebounds, and 4 points per ball game. And the Peru product will lock and load here at the 5:48 mark. Free throw by the right-hander is high off the iron and missed it badly. And 4 fresh purple jerseys on the floor.
NCAA update. Indiana 36, Michigan State 38. About 15 minutes to go. I don't know if IU fans will rush the floor at Michigan State. They pull that one off.
Here's Travis Smith with a bank shot on the free throw. It's now 70-54.
Do you think he meant to bank that?
Nah, the bank is open.
All right, we'll
always at TCU.
Is Adam Demery calling a game tonight, or is he watching IU?
He is. He's doing a game up in Michigan,
that's
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's right.
On WNIL. Here's Pat Edding with a block shot, but they're going to whistle a foul on Pat. And is that going to be number 4 on Pat?
3, I believe.
So going to the charity stripe will be Kyle Stidham.
You know, and I saw Coach Lightfoot talking during that last free throw attempt by Travis Smith. They called Matt Schaus for an illegal block out, and yet Pat got taken out down there, and there's no call. And all coaches want is consistency from officials. Call it one way, call it the other. Just call it the same the entire game.
Kyle Stidham was able to convert the first of his free throw opportunities, 70-55 with 5:33 to go. Second infraction off the front of the iron, no good. And Pat Edding grabs the rebound somehow, someway. Here's Schaus with the ball on the right wing now.
The Pilots need to run some offense, get a good look here.
Here's Matt going left side now to Travis Smith. Travis looking for some help. on the dribble, comes back out to Matt Schaus. Matt, still on the hard dribble up to the top, still on the hard dribble, goes right side now to Benner. Benner looking, goes back here to the left now to Matt. 11 on the shot clock. Matt will load up the triple and goes in and out, no good. A rebound. That ball was halfway down the well.
Yeah, we've not seen Benner down the low post in a long time this half, using that slow little methodical back down turnaround jumper.
Kyle Stidham with the ball over the timeline now. Will stop. Swing it left side now here to Coffey. Coffey's three-point shot caroms into the corner where it's tracked down by Brandon Gerber. Up court quickly now. Travis Smith on the right wing. Back to Schaus. Matt drives down the lane. He's fouled. That time, I believe, whistled that one on Eric Sellier.
It's going to be 10 team fouls. Be a two-shot foul, whether they call it a shooting foul or not.
And Matt, who the last time he went to the charity stripe was one of two. Tell you what, I think you're looking at guys who helped turn around this game was Michael Mislin. And speaking of which, there he is, right on cue. 71 to 55. As Matt will have one more opportunity. 4:41 to go. As Eric Sellier, the 6'3 freshman, will come out of the contest now. The one thing that I like that I've seen of Josh Andrews, he's intense. I like his intensity, but he hasn't blamed every call in the world on the officials.
No, he talks to the officials, talks to his players when they come out, let them know they did a good job, and he's very much a hands-on, in-control coach here.
1 of 2 for Schaus at the line. Here's Taylor in the half-court set. Here's a three-point shot on the far wing, good by Jesse Coffey, and that makes it a 71 to 58 ball game with 4:27 to go. Still plenty of time, ladies and gentlemen, so don't touch that now. We want to thank our friends at the Gates Automotive Group because they'll never leave you hanging, folks.
Check out the new Gates of Granger on State Road 23 in Granger. The Gates of Granger is a full-service shop for all brands and models. With their state-of-the-art base paint and body shop, you can't go wrong when it's time for all your detailing work. At the Gates of Granger, you can also see and buy the top 10 models of pre-owned cars, pickups, SUVs, and vans. The Gates Automotive Group celebrating 85 years of integrity.
It's never too it's never too late for a reset. Here's Matt Copsey.
2 timeouts left for Taylor, 5 for the Pilots. Both teams in the double bonus. Arrow favors Taylor.
There you have it. Once again, don't forget to join us on Wednesday, tomorrow, as Adam Demery and I will be down at the Autumn Gymnasium in Taylor as the Lady Pilots will be in action against Taylor University. Should be an important game for Jody Martinez's squad, and they need to right the ship after losing 5 straight.
Yeah, those young ladies need a win right now.
Yes, they do.
And that older coach needs a win right now, more importantly.
And also coming up on Saturday, we'll be right back here as we start round number 2 of the Crossroads League. The Indiana Wesleyan University Wildcats, under the leadership of Greg Toniga, will be in town as we'll start the second go-around in the Crossroads League. But we have a busy Friday night of high school basketball, Matt Copsey.
Yes, you and the coach will be over at the Cave for the Mishawaka-Adams game. Dwayne Lewandowski and I will be over at South Bend Riley for the Riley-Penn game. Pat Doherty and John Coggins and Tyler Biller will be over at the Northside Gym for Marion and Elkhart Central.
Bethel basketball. Here's Ryan Benner with a drive, and he has had it taken away. Well, that's just like taking the ball out of the running back. Oh, that was a traveling call by Kyle Stidham.
Yeah, Stidham came to a little hot for a shot, but didn't shoot.
Stidham with the ball on the far wing, guarded out there by Benner. Hedges off a screen. Nice switch out by the Pilots. Here's Stidham looking, wrap around to Darrell Jordan in the right block. Now back out here to Stidham. Stidham on the drive, pushes off, pull up 17-footer, caroms into the hands of Matt Schaus. And the Pilots with 3:38 to go in regulation, a 71-58 advantage.
Yeah,
we'll have the ball in the half-court set.
Be patient here. There's no hurry. Slow this game down. If they're not fouling you, run some clock.
Smith with the ball here on the near wing now. Goes cross-court now to Michael Mislin. Back to the top now to Gerber into the left corner. Now to Matt Schaus. Matt on the drive. Reverses it back here to Travis. Travis Smith looking. Goes to Gerber on the right. And here's back to Ryan Benner. There's that back-in player card. Here's Benner with a force. Tipped up by Michael Mislin is good. On the miss, Benner shot, 73-58. Miz in the right place at the right time tonight.
Misses Connery, but that was steal by Benner, heading the other way.
Here is Ryan Benner with the drive down the lane, and he could call an intentional foul there because that was a hold.
think Mississippi better plan on grab Michael Mislin after the game maybe for a post-game interview?
We have to be able to get him, and we're hoping to have Coach Lightfoot.
Oh, that's right. There is a little
special thing
going on. Yep. 700 wins.
So to go to the line will be Ryan Benner. Benner with some good shooting in that first half is going to be the Pilots' top scorer.
Paul, I've been coaching for over 20 years, and when I lost my 700th game, they didn't do anything. No award ceremony, nothing.
So Benner with the free throw gives the Pilots a 74-58 advantage.
21 points now for Ryan on the night.
And RB with one more opportunity. He'll be joining us actually on the broadcast on Friday on 95.7 The Fan. He's going to stop by his alma mater. 75-58.
His alma mater better come ready to play because that Adams team is very good.
Yes, I'd love to see Terry Davis in a Bethel uniform from John Adams. Oh, my. Here's Kyle Stidham with the ball for Taylor at the top. Jump pass to the far wing now or far side wing now to Coffey. Inside to Butcher. Butcher rolls down the right side of the lane and he scores the big shot. 75-60. In favor of the Pilots. Timeout Taylor University, 2:35 to go. We'll be right back with more Pilots by 15 on Regional Radio Sports.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we'll always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Michael Mislin, Matt Schaus, Travis Smith, Ryan Benner, and Brandon Gerber on the floor for the gray-clad Bethel Pilots.
It'll be interesting to see if Coach Andrews comes out and starts fouling to extend this game. 2.5 to go, 15-point game. You're going to have to shorten possession. So if I'm him, I foul Travis Smith as soon as he gets the ball.
So Miz to inbound the basketball goes to Benner here in the backcourt. And Ryan says, everybody get out of Dodge. And Ryan will come over the timeline now. Hands it off to Travis on the near wing. Travis looking for some help. They want to foul Travis.
Yeah, they missed opportunity there. I don't think they're just looking to trap.
Back over here to Schaus. 2:15 to go. 16 on the shot clock. Schaus lobs it to the high post to Miz. Miz, left side over here to Gerber. Gerber looking for some help. Goes back here to Travis Smith with 7 on the shot clock. Travis. And here's an offensive foul on Ryan Benner. Ouch.
And that, you know what? That's okay. You ran 30 seconds. Nothing wrong with that.
So it'll be Taylor basketball. They're a 15-point trailer.
10 turnovers now on the Pilots. 11 if you count the drop cheerleader in that last timeout, but they were able to catch her.
Tyler Waite to inbound the basketball in front of the Bethel bench. Mike Lightfoot just 2 minutes and 2 seconds away from claiming number 700.
Do you think he is even thinking about that, though?
Yeah.
You think
he didn't even want to talk about it during the pregame.
In Coach's mind, we're down by 6 right now.
And I had to trick him to get in there, to get him to come out and talk about it now. Here's Coffey loading up the triple and knocking it down. 75-63, 146 to go.
I'd be fouling.
Benner
right now.
Right side now to Travis Smith, back to Benner. Benner cross-skirts it now here to Schaus. Matt on the dribble. Into the far corner to Gerber. Back out here to Ryan Benner. Ryan Benner. And a timeout, Mike Lightfoot and the Pilots. 1:29 to go in regulation. Bethel's going to take a timeout. We're going to set the stage for the second half of the Crossroads League schedule for the Bethel Pilots. If you look at this team, Coach, as we hit this second go-around, some key games to say the least, but road games in this one are going to be so vitally important during this one stretch because you'll have 5 in a row at Goshen, at Spring Arbor, at St. Francis, at Marion, and at Huntington. So a key juncture of the ball game.
Marion's home. We're already down there.
That's right.
Yep, Marion's home. That was a scheduling. That's a typo there.
So, but realistically, even if that is the case, that's going to be 4 road games in 5 opportunities. Yeah. That's a tough schedule down the stretch.
Yeah, the nice thing is you're not going to Marion, you're not going to Mount Vernon, so you don't have those long trips. But you've got to go over there. Like I said, you got to take care of business here at home, but then you got to pull off a couple wins on the road.
And you've got to go to the great airplane hangar up in Michigan at Spring Arbor, a very difficult place to play. And make no mistake about it, if you look at what Spring Arbor's 5-5 there at home this year, but traditionally that's been a place where dreams go to die for the Pilots.
Have we gotten any other score updates lately from the Crossroads?
And Mississippi working on that. Here's Ryan Benner on the right wing now. Double team goes into the corner to Schaus, back to Mislin. Michael fakes, shoots, and scores.
Perfect night from the field for Miz tonight, I believe.
77-63, Pilots 1:18 to go.
Gerber knocked that one away, and they had to call a foul, but looked like hit that one clean.
You know, as a rule of thumb, you want guys to go up strong. But Miz, on I think 2 or 3 of his plays, just that little hesitation, waited for the defender to go. A shot fake is a lost art in basketball these days.
It's rare to find a young man that can play at 100 miles per hour but think at 60 miles per hour. That's what Miz is doing. He's patient with the ball.
77-64 is Kyle Stidham is able to knock down the charity toss with $1:15 to go. 77-65.
I still think Taylor should have been fouling a minute ago. I think it's good for the Pilots. But
Zach Miller in the ball game now for Bethel, and he has the ball. Zach on the dribble, looking for some help. Still on that dribble. Jump pass to Ryan Benner. Benner over the timeline out to Gerber. Gerber looks, comes back out high, not a Benner. 65 seconds remaining, and Ryan Benner is fouled with 62 ticks of the second half clock remaining.
That's not understanding the game situation. You can see Coach Andrews very frustrated. He told his guys to foul Gerber, and Gerber got the ball, and nobody fouled him.
Ryan Benner going to the line. The right-hander for Mishawaka, his free throw is good. 78-65. Substitutions forthcoming for Taylor. Coming out of the ballgame, Jordan Richardson. And back in, I believe it's Eric Sadler. Ryan Benner converts both free throws. It's now 79-65. This will be the 26th win for Bethel against 27 losses against Taylor. There's a running one-handed finger roll by Kyle Stidham is good. 79-67. Benner with a great fake over the timeline, near sideline. Goes back out to Schaus. Right side now to Zach Miller, and Miller is fouled. And Zach, who's 3 for 3 at the line tonight, will go to the line. It's been a quiet night for Zach Miller. Scores to pass along. Final score: Indiana Wesleyan beat Goshen tonight, 92-78, with 1 minute to go in the ball game. Huntington leads St. Francis, 69-58. As Zach Miller was able to convert one of those free throws, 80-67. Here's a three-point bomb at the top by Wade. Good. 80-70.
And that's why at 2:35 you go in the game, Paul, I was in foul. The Pilots hit 1 or 2, and you go down and get a layup. You can cut into that lead quickly if you foul, but the way it is now, you're still down 10 with 40 seconds to go because there's only been 3 possessions.
Indiana leading Michigan State 46-41 at the 12-minute media timeout.
That'll be good because that helps teams like Purdue that have a chance to win. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and we want to pass along our deepest condolences. Very, very difficult day down in West Lafayette. A young student, senior, that was killed by some whack job down there. Yeah, it just seems like everywhere we had a situation here in Elkhart over at the Martins.
Grocery store shooting,
thoughts and prayers go out there. And once again, our goal is this Friday is to dedicate our broadcasts, all 4 of our high school broadcasts, to a longtime friend of mine. Matter of fact, when I first moved to town 20 years ago, one of the guys who I used to work out with at Gold's Gymnasium over on Burkett at the time was a guy by the name of Brian Kinsey, who was a defensive coordinator at Marion High School. And my thoughts and prayers go out to the entire Marion Nice football family and to the entire Kinsey operation over there. We're going to miss Brian. We were visiting with him on Friday via text when we were having dinner with Pat Doherty and Tyler Biller, just kind of joking around, and then what a difficult situation that turned out to be. So thoughts and prayers go out to the Marion family in that regard. So the Pilots to move from right to left, a 10-point leader with 39 seconds to go. Ryan Benner looking. Going over here to now to Zach Miller. Miller is fouled again. And that with 38.1 seconds to go. Zach Miller will make that casual trot to the line and hope to get everything together. Coach, I tell you what.
Real quick, Paul. Another heady play on White. They came over and they put on a scoreboard on Ben Rachel, and White ran right over the ref. Said, no, that was me, and they corrected it. The young man has had his head in the game on multiple occasions tonight. I'm sorry, you were going to ask.
No, obviously Zach Miller has had to endure multiple double teams and been hit and bounced around, and it'll be interesting to see how teams in the Crossroad Leagues are going to try to curtail him in the second go-around.
Yeah, he's going to have to work real hard to get shots off.
Here's Rachel with a wide open three on the far wing. No good. Brandinger with the rebound. Up court quickly to Caleb Ochin. Ochin will bring it out of harm's way. Cross court, took the shots in the corner to Miller. Zach on the drive, and he's fouled on the perimeter that time by Kyle Stidham, the 6'3 sophomore from Greenwood. So with 24 seconds to go.
The student section chanting 700 to Coach Lightfoot.
As Miller is able to knock down the first free throw. And the second by Zach is good again. It's ironic that Paul Patterson got his 700th win against Bethel, and Mike Lightfoot will turn the table as here's a drive down the lane and a score by Kyle Stidham.
Nope. In and out. It didn't go down.
Did it pop out?
It popped out.
I'd already put it down on my score sheet. I saw the ball going down in the cylinder.
And some little man, about 3 years old, they just ran out on the floor there to try and get in on the court for the Pilots, but they got a corral down there. I'm sure security will be all over.
Grace beat Mount Vernon tonight, 85-73, and congratulations goes out to the Grace Lancers. That is their 1,000th win in school's history. Final score from the Whitecamp Athletic Center inside the Gates Gymnasium. Mike Lightfoot has won his 700th career game, a important Crossroads League win here today. They improved to 16-5 and 5-4 in the league. The Trojans dropped to 9-11 and 3-6 in Crossroads League play. 84-70, the final score here today on Regional Radio Sports. Congratulations, Mike Lightfoot, on win number 700. We'll be right back after this brief timeout as Coach Lightfoot is hugged at the other end by the athletic director, Jody Martinez. A big win for Mike and his team, as happy smiles all around for everybody in the Bethel men's basketball program. We'll be right back after this on Regional Radio Sports.
College softball players Mallory Holtzman and Liz Wallace know winning isn't everything.
It's how you hold your head.
These two athletes carry their opponent around the bases after she injured herself hitting the winning home run.
Whether you win or lose on the field, if you did the right thing.
Let's go over to Brian Miller.
Bethel students. My coaches and all the players that I've had over the years have made this possible. It's just been amazing to see how many great guys have been through our program and made so many great impact in our community. I'd really especially like to thank my family for investing in me, allowing me to do the things I want to do. Thanks a lot. And so I'd like to thank my Jackie, my sons, and my daughter-in-laws for all the work they put in. But more importantly, I just thank God for the opportunity, the blessings that He's given all of us to be able to be involved in athletics and be able to live, breathe, and enjoy life. And so, again, I just want to thank everybody in the Bethel family, the Bethel community, Michigan, for all the things that you have done. So, again, thank you.
All right. Let's kind of go over this thing, Coach Gardner. Significant scenario with 700 wins. We've been fortunate to get a nice hug there from Miss Jackie Lightfoot, who, if you can get her to sit down long enough.
She's unfortunate for Jackie. She's only seen about 300 of those wins because she gets all nervous, especially when Ryan was playing, and she would leave the gym.
All right. Yes. All right, let's get some thoughts here from Michael Mislin. Mike, who we thought played one of his finest ball games in recent memory. First of all, Mike, in the last couple weeks, you've been firmly planted in Chateau Bow Wow in the doghouse, and you took advantage of the opportunity that presented for you today. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
How do you feel about being able to come in here and respond?
Oh, it feels great, you know. Every day I just come in and work hard, and, you know, if I don't get in the game, it doesn't matter. I'm here for the teammates. I'm here to support them. I have their backs. You know, I make them better in practice, and I make myself better. And I had a chance tonight to get out there and work hard, and I did.
Coach, I know you've been talking about Miz working hard through this whole scenario.
Yeah, one of my favorite young men over his time here at Bethel. 13 and a half minutes, Miz. 6 for 6 from the field. 7 rebounds, including 3 on the offensive end. I was talking to Coach Robbie before the game, and I pointed out, I said to Coach Lightfoot's son Robbie, I said, Miz is our best field goal percentage shooter, our leading offensive rebounder, and, you know, we need to get him. And so I know Coach is real proud of you. I said it was nice to see him yelling good things at you, because he's been yelling at you a lot lately. It was nice to see him yelling good things at you. So well done. Keep working hard in practice. Keep leading these guys. You got a big one coming up on Saturday.
Absolutely. I'm excited for it.
All right, proud of you, man.
All right,
Thank you.
Congratulations on the big win. We're going to take a quick timeout, come back with more of our continuing coverage. We're going to get Mike Lightfoot here on the post-game show. He's being surrounded by everyone over there, all the news media here. Very, very special moment. Involves some scores. Final score, Huntington beat St. Francis tonight 72-60. Grace over Mount Vernon 85-73. Iwu over Goshen tonight 92-78. So we'll be right back with more right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
Did win.
And they showed us the right thing is sportsmanship.
There's always a moment of truth where it's either put up or shut up. We were yelling our hearts out. Even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continued to push. I don't know where the pain went to, but all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
PFC Darrell Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Hi again, it's me, Sarah. I just got a text from TCU that means my first paycheck got deposited. I can't wait to treat myself. Of course, Mom and Dad want me to save, and thanks to TCU Everyday Savings, I can. Every time I use my TCU Debit MasterCard, TCU rounds my purchase up to the next dollar and moves the change to my savings. So I can spend a little and still save. Visit TCUnet.com to start owning your financial future. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
They were outnumbered, out-equipped. They had no chance of winning, but they had one huge advantage: General George Washington.
The fate of unborn millions will now depend, under God, on the courage and conduct of this army. We have to resolve to conquer or die.
Just as the leadership of one man helped form a nation, today leadership can transform the world. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Back live here to Bethel College. Mike Lightfoot getting a hug from Mom over here. We're going to go over here to Matt Copsey. He's got our final stats, and we'll hear some thoughts from Mike here momentarily.
Okay, for Taylor University, Darrell Jordan 0 of 2 from the field, did not score. Ian Dutcher 3 of 3 from the field, 2 of 5 from the free throw line, 8 points. Ben Rachel, 3 of 8 from the field, 8 points. Jesse Coffey, 8 of 15 from the field for 23 points. Kyle Stidham, 7 of 15 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 18 points. Jordan Richardson, 2 of 3 from the free throw line for 2 points. Tyler Waite, 1 of 3 from the field for 3 points. Eric Sellier played but did not score. Josh McConan, 3 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 8 points. Taylor was 25 of 55 from the field for 46%, 11 of 26 from three-point range for 42%, 9 out of 16 from the free throw line for 56%. For the Pilots, Travis Smith, 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 7 points. Matt Schaus, 3 of 8 from the field, 3 of 6 from the free throw line, 10 points. Zach Miller, 1 of 7 from the field, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 10 points. Ryan Benner, 7 of 14 from the field, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 24 points. Pat Edding, 3 of 9 from the field for 6 points. Caleb Ochin, 1 of 3 from the field for 3 points. Landon Booker, 3 of 6 from the field for 8 points. Brandon Gerber, 1 of 2 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 points. Michael Mislin, 6 of 6 from the field, 12 points. Ryan Watson played but did not score. Bethel, 28 out of 59 from the field, 48%. 8 out of 22 from three-point range for 36%. More importantly, 20 out of 25 from the free throw line for 80%. Pilots won the battle of the boards 34-33. 9 rebounds for Patrick Edding, 7 for Michael Mislin, 33 for Taylor, 5 each for Jordan, Dutcher, Stidham, and Rickonen. 14 assists for Taylor, 3 for Kyle Stidham, 15 for Bethel, 7 for Matt Schaus. 18 turnovers for Taylor, 9 for Bethel, 4 block shots for Taylor, 2 for Jordan, 1 for Dutcher, 1 for Rickonen, 3 block shots for Bethel, 1 each for Miller, Edding, and Brandon Gerber, 3 steals for Taylor, 2 by Dutcher, 1 by Ben Rachel, and 11 for the Pilots, 3 for Travis Smith, 2 for Matt Schaus, 1 for Zach Miller, 2 for Ryan Benner, 2 for Patrick Edding, and 1 for Ryan Wasse.
Coach, your impressions of the Pilots play in the second half? I thought they came out a little bit more focused in the second 20.
They did, but the game still ended up closer than it probably should have been. A great night for Jesse Coffey, 7 for 13 from three-point range, and those are the things that you can't have. Teams that are taking Zach Miller away, the Pilots have got to do a better job of executing the game plan and taking away the other team's best shooter. But some really good stats there with Schaus with 7 assists, Pat Edding with 9 rebounds. We already talked about Miz's game. Gerber, 5 rebounds, 4 points off the bench. Just some good stuff there. Landon Booker with 8 points off the bench. So let's turn it over to you and Coach Lightfoot.
All right, I'm going to hand me off a headset there, and we'll get a happy camper in here. And first of all, Michael, congratulations.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it, friend.
How you been?
Well,
it's good.
It's good. I think that.
Hey, just want to say great job.
Hey, thank you, Corey. Thank you very much. How are you doing?
We'll talk to you later.
All righty.
There's one of Bethel's finest individuals right there in Corey Lance.
Yeah, it's just been a great feeling. I feel kind of overwhelmed, honestly, because there's just so many people here that made this happen. There's so many great players, great assistant coaches, people that care and bleed Bethel blue that I don't take for granted. I think about them all the day. Every day when I walk up my steps, there's pictures of my former team, and I single out 1 or 2 of them as I walk up and just think about their lives and pray for them as I go up the steps. And I've just been really, really blessed to be at one place and be able to be around so many incredible, gifted, hardworking people.
Let's talk about the game and just kind of reflect back on it. You always talk about the journey and all this, and we talked about this ironically in the pregame show. We saw a week ago, or Saturday, I guess it was, with Pat Edding with a great game.
Yeah.
Here we've seen Brandon Gerber's kind of in the doghouse, but he's played himself out of the.
Yeah.
Michael Mislin, firmly planted in Chateau Bow Wow, comes out and plays a really solid performance. So let's just talk about that's what the team dynamic is here. Over my years of doing this, and I've been with you for about 350 of those wins, it's always been who is the next hero.
Yeah, and that's what we really build our program on. You're right. Those guys you mentioned are seniors. You expect for them to hopefully respond, and we had Patrick respond. I mean, Ryan Bennett told me before the game, he said, Coach, this is going to happen. I could see a little bit of something special in Ryan's eyes. I thought he worked harder than he had worked in weeks. I thought he really got after it. And then I'm just really happy for Miz because, yeah, Miz has been in the doghouse. Miz has been struggling. But you know what? In life, you got to respond. And, you know, when the bell's called and, you know, we felt like earlier in the year and even last week that he didn't respond. And I didn't know if he was going to get another opportunity, neither did he. But you know what? I'm really proud of him because he responded when it took place.
All right, a couple things and we'll let you go because you got more people want to talk to you. Number one, it was neat to see the embrace between you and Jackie and you and your mom.
Yes.
Your father looking down in heaven. Let's just talk about how happy he has to be now, huh?
Yeah, he's probably thinking, what took you so long? You know, that's what I told Mom. I said he's probably wondering what in the world took you so long to get to 700 because but he was my biggest fan. And you know what? I didn't have to win a game, Paul. You know, that was the great thing. He didn't care. He didn't care if we ever won a game. I mean, he cared about me. He cared about the kids, and he loved the kids. And so, you know, there was a lot of thoughts today about Dad. I didn't know it was going to happen today, but it just happened to be one of those days. You know, we all have thoughts of Dad, and today was one of those days that you just kind of, you know, I thought about his legacy and the things that he's taught me and invested in me, and so I'm really proud to be his son. I'm proud to be a Bethel Pilot.
Congratulations, Coach. Thanks for allowing me to be along for the ride.
Hey, thank you, Paul.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to Coach because I guess we're going to get a photo up here with Coop.
Great job by Coach Lightfoot, and really just what a pleasure to be here and be a part of that and be a part of this program. Congratulations, Coach. And what do you say there, Paul?
Well, it's an emotional time for all of us who've had a lot of investment. And Matt, you grew up here. I mean, this is your alma mater, and I know the emotions run high for you because you've had a chance to cover the Pilots for many, many years. And 20-plus years you've been with the local paper. In addition to that, all the time you've been with us the last 2 or 3 years. So, and we've all known Mike. Ironically enough, Mike and I there's about 2 months age difference between the two of us. We both shared the same coach, ironically, as Jim Lichtenberger. My high school coach was one of Mike's coaches when he was at LaVille before Mike. So we share a lot of things, same age, and it's just the dynamic of the whole Bethel basketball community is pretty sweet.
Yeah, Coach Lightfoot always holds a special place in my heart because I was still in school here when he came, and he was very influential in helping me move on with some of my aspirations. Helped me get into over at Kovalevsky Stadium along with Dick Patterson, the former baseball coach here, and so Coach Lightfoot and I have always shared a very special bond in the term that, you know, we're both diehard Cub fans. I know I'm not going to hold that against it, but we both just have a passion for our faith in the Lord and everything like that. And you know, when I started working at the paper, the first game I got to cover was with Bethel, and there was some talk about, you know, would I show any favoritism and stuff, and I
Did they win the game, you remember?
Yes, Bethel beat Indiana University South Bend, and I remember one of the games I covered, they lost, and I told it like it was, and there was never any question after that, but Coach Lightfoot is he's done a lot for Bethel. I was here during the days of Homer Drew and everything, and you know, people talk about who was Homer Drew, but you know, Homer Drew was a big influence in Mike Lightfoot's life, and he still is to this day. And so, you know, it's only fitting that Mike Lightfoot get it on this floor.
Mark, for you, Coach Lightfoot stood with you through thick and thin during some very stormy times in your life, and I know it gave you an opportunity to get back behind the bench, and of course gives us the opportunity to do this again, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, 2 years away from coaching, and was at an Elkhart Express game watching Eric Brand, and Coach Randolph came up and said, "Hey, we don't know where you're at, and if you want to get back into coaching, there's a spot for you at Bethel." And so I came over here and walked into a preseason practice with Coach Lightfoot and Coach Natale and Coach Randolph, and 30 seconds in, I walked out in the lobby and called my wife, and I said, it's time to get back into coaching. And I've been here ever since, and this is our family now. You know, I've got my church family, and I've got this Bethel family, and these people are amazing. And so it's been so much fun to be a part of it. And the one thing about Coach that it doesn't matter if it's game day, it doesn't matter if they've lost 12 games in a row. He stops and makes you feel like the most important person in the world when he sees you. You know, he got that from Homer. That's a Homer Drew trait. Homer would walk in the gym, make every person feel like they're the most valued person there, and Coach does a great job of of just making you have a good day and brightening up the room. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here, and I love learning from them, but more importantly, just love hanging out with them.
Pilots now 186-62 here in the Gage Gym. They've achieved the 1,141 victory plateau. They're now 7-2-0. Head coach Mike Lightfoot, 700 wins, 260 losses. He was the fastest coach to 200, 300, 400, 500. Slowed down there for a little bit, but I'll tell you, make no mistake about it. He's second all-time in wins on the NAI active list behind the legendary Danny Miles of Oregon Tech, who's about ready to achieve the 1,000 victory plateau in a couple seasons. And, of course, the Pilots who dropped down to number 22 in the poll, they'll have a lot of momentum going into their ball game on Saturday against Indiana Wesleyan University. Taylor drops to 9-11, 3-6 in the Crossroads League. Pilots improved to 16-5 and 5-4. The first half of the Crossroads League season has been completed, and we'll be back with more college basketball on Saturday. Special thanks to Tiny Conde for all the details. To Brad Brink, a spectacular job up there in the catbird seat, taking all the video. And as always, for Coach Mark Gardner, I'm Paul Condry. I can figure it out for all of us. Thanks for joining us. Semper Fidelis. God bless you all. Good night, everyone.